Welcome to Natural 6. Yeah. I assault the camera. Assault the camera with good vibes. Hey, everybody.
As opposed to bad ones.
As opposed to bad ones. Hello. Welcome to a period of my hair that will no doubt be referred to as a provincial burglar from a 90s family film era. We are Natural 6. How's everyone doing today?
Very
Chapadies
well.
and chapesses?
Yeah, you know,
Very
had a few
well.
coffees.
Have a few coffees.
Yeah.
We're all very excited.
Yeah.
Well, there's no adventure without heroes. Let's say hi to ours.
There's no fire without smoke.
It's so true.
There's no...
So true. Hi,
Without smoke.
There's no fire without smoke. It's wrong.
Other way. Hi, I'm Aoife, and I'll be playing Dolly de Winter, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, I'm Alex Jordan, and I play the Kobold Rogue.
Hi, I'm Doug Cockle, and I play Kelmis, the Dragonborn Druid.
Hi, I'm Hollie, and I play the human fighter, Elowin Grenweird.
Hi, I'm Ben Starr, and I play Radiant Thornbear, the Wood Elf Wizard.
And I'm Harry McEntire, and I underpin these turkey taters and all the trimmings with a dip. With a deep, rich gravy.
With a dip rich.
With a dip, rich gravy. A little sophisticated nod to the false tavern keeper from the previous episode. I'm very meta. Shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons? Yay! Last time. Oh, it's episode 21, by the way.
Oh, man!
We can drink in the States.
This has been our most chaotic opening.
Yep.
No, it's not.
No. The chaos before has always been in some way
It's telling a
curated.
story, right? Yeah.
This has just been it's like almost like the monster from episode 20 pieced together.
I feel very excited about the fact that we're going to do a Christmas episode after this. I woke up in a very different mood. I woke up a little bit like when you put board games on the tables on the last day of school. Because this is work.
That's so specific. That never happened to me.
Did it not?
Really?
That's so sad.
Yeah, board games on the
Yeah.
Like an on-school uniform day in board games.
Yeah, and be like...
Or
and,
wheeling in the TV.
And fuck it, watch the
Mufti
Truman
Day.
Show. Like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And we'll say that
Bit
it's
of
about
Blackadder and
social
history class.
conditioning.
What did you do on the last day of school?
Worked. I just wanted to do more work.
I wanted homework, miss.
I wanted more.
Miss, don't forget to set us homework.
Excuse me, is this going to contribute to our final grade? Last time.
And this is the last time.
You began in the Water's Edge Tavern, meeting Dolus to begin the last leg of your journey to the Sanctum. Realising that you might be spotted on the road, you set to planning how to avoid detection. It was then that Kelnis revealed the power of the amulet he wears around his neck, accessing its arcane abilities to change his appearance to that of a slightly ragged-looking strawberry blonde elf. The rest of you examined Kelnis, realising that the illusion didn't stand up to physical inspection, though it was visually convincing even up close. Now successfully disguised, Kelnis walked up front with Dolus, ensuring that the road was safe before the rest of you proceeded a little way behind. As they walked, Dolus revealed to his fellow Dragonborn that the waters of Fathom, the lake in which the Sanctum is situated, had turned black, and that strange things have been pulled from the water. When Kelnis asked whether there were any alternative ways into the Sanctum, fearing the conspicuousness of the main gates, Dolus told him of a secret way known only to those in the Legion, the Forgotten Stair. The stair could only be accessed by sailing to a secret cove on the island that would require a skilled sailor to navigate the crossing. For his part, Kelnis spoke of the journey so far, of your desire to find Parvis, and of the lies told about you by Barabask. Meanwhile, the rest of you shared your thoughts on Dolus and your awareness that Kelnis was feeling the strain of what may come. After a few hours, the effects of Kel's amulet faded and the two Dragonborn rejoined the rest of the group. Together you began to formulate a plan to enter the Sanctum. You discussed the possibility of disguising Kelness or dulling the brightness of his scale so that he may gain access via the main gate, or whether I, the character not the me, could be carried in a bindle. In the end, you decided it may be more prudent to utilise the Forgotten Stair and then find the chambers of Parvus, which Dolus told you were likely to be on the 5th floor, one level below that which you would emerge into. Dolus told you that he would need to report to the Fortis Legion training camp readiness once you reached C-scale. It was necessary for him to smooth out any issues created by his absence. That evening you arrived at the lakeside town, a dank, sulphurous smell drifting across from Fathom. Dolus took his leave of you as you headed towards the taverns and the docks. By the water's edge, you saw a commotion as a group of fishers struggled with a catch. A creature was caught in the net, a dark fish ripping apart the other fish within. Eventually, one of the Dragonborn took matters into his own hands, slicing the net and killing the creature. Radian approached to learn more, sharing stories of the bat frog that you had found in the Seraphine River. He paid for a new net in return for taking the strange fish, hoping to examine it when he had the chance. Dolly then headed off to meet an old acquaintance, with Elowin accompanying her, whilst the rest of you went to find the Coral Bones Tavern, where you had agreed to meet Dolus the next morning. More of that later. Dolly and Elowin headed almost to the very edge of the lake, on the eastern side of the town, where they met Aska, Dolly's old associate. She was fabulous, generous with drinks and eager to hear stories. Inside her sumptuously furnished home, she traded tales of former colleagues with Dolly, apologising for her part in the series of events that led to Dolly's entrapment in the web. Upon hearing your plan, Aska told Dolly that she was willing to get you across Fathom, but that she would be unable to sail across the treacherous waters without her chart. She suspected it had been stolen by a new neighbour. Assured that she would help you if you could retrieve the chart, you resolved to do just that, accepting her offer to stay the night. Meanwhile, at the Coral Bones, Radian, I, and Kelness negotiated a price for a room with a series of staff members, not all of whom actually worked there. As Radian closed the negotiations, Elowin arrived and informed you of your new sleeping arrangements, taking you to Aska's, where your Dragonborn host prepared drinks and set about roasting various birds. Once there, Radian and I headed outside in order to examine the strange fish that Radian had in his possession. This examination proved largely fruitless, but I managed to extract an ichor from the creature's body and store it in a bottle. It was decided that I, Elowin, Dolly, and Radian would head over to search for and retrieve Aska's chart, whilst Kelness would remain with Aska to act as sous chef and chief food taster. Picking your way towards the house, you could see no signs of life. I, climbing onto the porch roof so as to gain entry through a window on the top floor, he headed downstairs and opened the front door, letting the rest of you in. The house was deserted. Nothing to note until Radian noticed the folded edge of a rug. Beneath was a trapdoor that led to a set of stairs, and beyond a basement containing wardrobes and chests. Inside these were assorted uniforms and outfits, along with a large cache of weapons. Suspecting that this was a trap laid by Aska, Dolly was eager to run. Kelness and Aska were still roasting various birds. Radian went on to examine the wall at the rear of the basement and spotted that trapped within the mortar were mummified wasps. Pulling one out, the wall retracted, revealing a hidden chamber behind. On the wall of this new space was a map of Reliquiae, a red ribbon pinned to it, tracking the journey you had taken since leaving Mount Atria. On a blood-stained table, a figure lurched to its feet, a horrifying creature made of disparate body parts held together with thick stitches and metal staples. It attacked, and with your combined strength, you bested it. Examining the body, Radian realised that he recognised the face of Portree, a dwarf who had been part of a chapter Radian was once a member of. Trying to figure out what you had stumbled into, Elowin recalled rumours of someone known as the Wasp, a vigilante who hunted and killed members of the web. You realised that the Wasp may be following you. Searching through a set of drawers, you discovered Aska's chart, along with a book bound in skin in which documented the component parts of the flesh golem you had killed, as well as the processes that went into its creation. You also found a letter, addressed to someone called Yilda. In it, an envoy of the web promised that, should Yilda cease their hunt, the web would give up the location of the son of the tree speaker. And that's where we are Now, still in this silent, hidden basement.
Well, you know all of my names, so the tree speaker means nothing to me.
No idea.
But it's us they're tracking.
Yeah. So what does this mean? This doesn't have anything to do with us.
Unless one of you is hiding another name.
I am, but not this one.
Fine.
I am me.
I was not worried that it would be you.
Okay.
Radiant?
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't even know half my names at all.
No, that would make sense.
Does you think you can speak with trees?
No.
He can barely speak to people.
This is a very good point.
Well, there's one more person to ask.
Yeah, well, if there's nothing else here, I think we should probably just leave.
Before we go, have you got that bag on you? You know, the one that we can put everything in?
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm going to shop for a few new weapons. You said there was a cache of weapons. So I would like to take a great sword and a spear.
Great.
Get them in the bag. And actually, I want to know exactly what costumes there are and what would fit people around this table.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me. Would you like to investigate? Let's have different people handle different things. So we'll do investigation checks. Let's do costumes with one person, and let's do weapons with another. What do you want to take, Elowen, given this was your idea?
Weapons.
Weapons, okay.
I'm gonna use second wind on that because that's really bad.
Essentially, obviously, everything, you can see everything, but this is going
Yeah.
to more represent whether you can find something that would make you...
Still really bad.
that would be better than what you've got.
It's only a 5, but I want to take stuff I don't already have.
Yeah. Well, I would say with a 5, absolutely. I've already said that there is a
Yeah.
great sword, which is a two-handed weapon, which I believe a great sword does 2d6 damage.
Has some really interesting weapon properties, is what I'm.
Now, with a 5, you can identify this is not a magical great sword.
No.
But yeah, there is a great sword with which you are proficient. And I will also say you find a load more arrows for your longbow with a 5.
Fine, great.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the costumes. 'Cause
Cool.
I know there were different sizes.
Yep.
I'd like to go and have a little check.
Sure.
What do you want, investigation?
Yes, baby.
That is a 9.
A 9. So we've already mentioned that there is a Barun Guard outfit, an Escalon Guard outfit, an outfit of a Poet of Grace, and one of a Cleric of Thalon are the ones that you've identified. I will say that the Poet of Grace outfit could be adapted to any size because it is so formless that it wouldn't matter if it was dragging along the ground. You got a 9, did you say?
Yes.
A 9. You find an Escalon Guard outfit which would fit Radian or Elowen.
Okay. I would like to ask for the hand getting it down from whatever it's on.
It's in one of those bits of plastic you get from a dry clean.
Yeah. And I turn around, and as I'm trying to look around, I see Elowen foraging through these things and then requiring second wind, just going...
There's gotta be something good in here.
Anyone else have a look at anything here? Go on, idea.
I don't want to look.
Okay.
I want to go back to the body of the golem.
Yes?
You're so sure you've missed, like, you're obsessed.
Yeah.
You want to steal its face?
What do we think is going on upstairs?
Whoa, back with Kel.
I'm going to cast
Oh.
Animate Dead
Oh my God.
on the golem.
Okay. Read me Animate Dead.
What, you're just going to take it for a walk around town?
This spell creates an undead servant whose pile of bones or a corpse of a medium or small humanoid within range. Your spell imbues the target with a foul mimicry of life, raising it as an undead creature.
I think it is a monstrosity rather than a humanoid. Let me look that up, which would mean you could not do it. It is a construct. It is not a humanoid. It has the wrong creature type for you to be able to do that.
Okay.
Give it a go then.
But he's going to do it.
For flavour, does it require a roll?
No.
Right, it does now. So for flavour, if you are trying to do this with something that is not humanoid, I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
Great.
And the DC, because you should not be able to do this. So the DC is 20.
Great.
Do you want to... Oh, you've already done it. I was going to get the skull box out.
Oh, yeah, do you want to do a skull box?
No, I'd like to know what you got. Because you rolled.
Oh, that's such a shame. It's a 17.
Okay. You watch as... How does it look when you attempt to cast this?
I like the idea that it involves actual physical touch of the thing. It's not just something that you have to go and you can just do from afar. I think it's quite cool. Well, at least for Radiant's flavor anyway. Because the way that I imagine this scenario happens is he's down by the body and he sees Portree's face. And it's almost like he goes up to it and he starts like investigating Portree's face, which is a face that he recognizes from a while ago, in the same way that he investigated the face way back when he saw the petrified body of someone he also worked with in episode 0, session 0. So yeah, he kind of goes up to it and then feels this need to kind of animate this body, and so it's almost like a power comes from his arm and it goes through his hand and then touching the face. So it's like almost like a bolt of electricity.
And you see for a moment, it's like you can see the electricity running through the created connections. You can see it running through a small vein in the part of the face that would have been dwarven, and then to the larger area of the jaw, which would have wider veins and arteries on account of it being dragonborn. And you see these kind of pulses, almost like watching a kind of great mass, like a snake swallowing something that's too large for its body. And you see these kind of blipping pulses of power, and the face briefly contorts, and you hear something, and then it drops.
What did you just do?
Fails.
I tried to bring him back from the dead.
I runs over, puts his hand on Radiant, whose hand is still on the creature, and just goes,
We talks about this. Don't licks it.
I wasn't trying to lick it, I was trying to bring it back.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like it was a good idea.
We'll talk about that as well. And good ideas.
Definitely not a good idea.
Does we think Kelnis is in danger?
Yes, I think we should go and check on him at the very least.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Before you do that, can someone just remind me what costumes we actually got out of that?
so we got the docent.
You got a docent of grace, a poet of grace
poet of
costume
grace.
that could be adapted for anyone's height,
Yep,
who is
guard.
medium or smaller, and then a guard of Escalon that would fit Elowin or Radiant.
Cool.
And we're back in Asker's. Kelnis, Asker has just removed the one oysterless bird, because you had the oysters last time, from the oven, and is... How familiar are you with basting, Kelnis?
I think I'm quite familiar with it. I love a good roast.
Roll me a nature or a sleight of hand check to see. She gives you basting duties, essentially. Whichever one you prefer.
These are so important, by the way. Please don't mess up basting duty. You'd ruin the entire meal if you got this wrong, by the way.
That's a that's bad maths, is what that is. That's an 11.
An 11. Yeah, you do a perfectly serviceable job of basting. At first you find it difficult to tip the roasting tin in such a way that the bird doesn't start to also slide, but she shows you how you sort of secure it with essentially a roasting fork and then allow those juices. And you go to put it over the legs and she says, no, darling, the dark meat takes care of itself. It's the light meat we're concerned with. And so you start spooning this kind of rendered...
Take little sips out of the...
Ew.
It's...
The basting
roll me
juice
a
as well.
stealth check.
Oh, I'm back in with the... Oh, that's how we all get sick.
What do you say, stealth?
Yeah.
12.
12. She goes, oh, darling. And she takes the spoon off you, and she has like a little cup of boiling water with lots of spoons in it. She says, just change on each one, and pulls out a new fresh spoon with which you can keep tasting the basting juices.
Excellent.
And after a few more minutes of cooking and preparing, and you She wants to carve at the table, so everything, all the protein is resting. She has done, as we said last time, some roasted roots with honey and hard herbs. There are various bowls of communal. There's some greens. There's some salad. There is a particularly elaborate sort of rice pilaf that she's made, which is studded with sultanas, and she gets sort of milk and saffron, almost like you would with a biryani, and does that over the top. A little bit of crispy onions. And as she's kind of directing you to bring all these things to the table, and she's wiping down enough crockery for everyone to have matching sets, the door opens and our gang arrive.
Cal? Okay, all right.
You
Okay,
right?
everything all right?
You're right.
Yeah, just...
I just loads a bolt quietly behind.
Roll me stealth.
That is a 23.
Yeah, she's not looking out for anyone to be loading a crossbow bolt.
Oh, you guys, you should taste this basting sauce.
You know what? In a minute, can we borrow you outside for just 1 second?
There's
No, outside. 1 second.
olives.
Kill this now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll just head outside and be like, we need everyone to be on full alert right now. We found the chart, but we found a lot besides the chart.
Why are you guys all sweaty?
We're being hunted.
What?
The web. We thought it was the kind of story they just tell new recruits to keep them in line, but there's an assassin called Wasp, and the Wasp hunts members of the web, and they have been following us.
Kelnis, roll me history with advantage.
We found that.
History. 7.
7. You've heard of the Wasp? The Wasp is a myth. The Wasp isn't real. But you've heard of the Wasp.
I know nothing of the... What is this?
We found that letter in some hidden part of the house. There was like costumes and weapons, and
A monster made up of parts.
it looked like someone had dug in there for a while.
Kelnis, why don't you read that aloud? Because we haven't heard it so far this app.
Hilda, we have found you, little wasp. You who have for so long been so adept in finding us. No one can escape this elk forever. We come to you with an offer. The son of the tree speaker. For a cessation of your hunt. Make no further attacks on us and we will give you his location. We have ways. We await your answer through the stone you took from Laertes. We need not tell you how wide we trust, nor how many eyes we see through on behalf of the prince.
I mean, I don't know what that has to do with us, but we found it there, so... I don't know any of the names in that.
They knew every single location we've been to.
Been tracking us since McEntire.
There are 2 names in this that I know, 3 names in this that I know well.
What?
The prince.
I mean, we all kind of know the prince.
The tree speaker was my father.
What?
I am the son of the tree speaker.
And the Hilda.
Hilda was a friend once. When I was young. I thought he was dead. The docent told me that Hilda seeks the son of the tree speaker. It would appear that Hilda is the wasp.
What does that mean? Why is he after you?
Now is perhaps not the time for the tale.
Okay,
If the rumors of the wasp are true, and I thought they were not, then we are in very great danger.
what else is new? Hey, we're being hunted by the entire world. Why not add another name to that list?
Always nice to be reminded that we think we've left the web, but We haven't really left it behind.
Never really leave it behind.
Yilda has bested many members of the web.
Yilda is not of the web. The wasp is not of the web. If Yilda is the wasp, then the wasp's sole purpose has been to find me.
You mean you think they went through all of those agents to find you?
I do.
Why sew them together like that? What kind of a person is that?
I do not know. As I said, I thought Yilda was dead.
Well, they're not dead. They're after us, and I'd say from the charts that we found, they're a lot closer than I'm comfortable with them being. And they could be anyone.
This doesn't change anything. We still look forward, but we also look back.
Well, we can't look everywhere all at once, so we may as well keep looking forward.
Well, tomorrow, hopefully, we're getting on a boat. It'll be a lot easier to see who's coming after us from there.
Did you find the chart?
Yeah, got the chart.
We need to ask some questions of Asar.
She's not, I don't know how much we can trust her. I don't know how much I can trust anyone from the gang, really, but I don't think she has any reason to lie to us. And we need her. We need a boat. So...
Are you sure that Asar is... Asar?
No. Seems like it. She knew stuff that someone wouldn't know. Everything that we talked about before you guys got here, it's all true. She knew the people we used to run with. She knew what happened when everything fell apart.
How interesting. You don't remember Dolas at all, but Dolas seems to have a great story about you from your time in the web. Dolas happened to be in the tavern, on the way.
Right place, right time.
A little too suspicious for my liking.
Yeah, you've got a point there.
But Dolas can't suspect anything.
No.
So what, we wait for him to stick a knife in Gail's back?
No, we just watch out. When we is on the water, there is many of us, and just ones of them.
I don't like it. This feels risky.
I will say this. When we saw that map, it was every place that we'd been. And yet when we found it, the wasp was there before we were. They know where we're going. So whatever we find in the Sanctum, we will probably find the wasp.
How could he know where we're going?
The web is wide.
Yeah, but he's fighting the web.
Not anymore.
No. Yeah. Everyone has a price.
Look, let's deal with this in the morning. Let's go inside, get some food and prepare.
And you head back inside, and as you do, Asar looks up from her roasting fork and carving knife. She's kind of carving these big, unctuous slices of meat. She says, well, sit down.
Everything's all fine. We just, oh, your chart.
Oh, marvellous. I hope it wasn't too much trouble.
Hey, we got it. It's the most important thing.
Just going to have her roll insight, because I think you're all really quite weird.
Came in pretty hot, didn't we?
That is a nat 1. Well, sit. Come along.
All right.
Does you has any of those bits of the bird? That's the little muscle.
I believe we have some. She's given Kel one from one of the birds, but we did say she was roasting more than one. So she says, you don't mind if I give me the oyster?
Me, yes. Me.
No, it'll keep him happy.
And she sort of scoops them both out and puts them on your plate for you.
I takes a bite. I think this would pair well with a toffee apple.
She says, let me see something. She says, well, you are in luck. And she points towards a sort of Arga-style oven that she's got. And she says, go and take a look. And you open the door, and it's like these bubbling caramelized apples, almost like a tartan.
Okay. Can I add a bit of
Please.
the way the light goes in and like bounces off this beautiful bubbling caramelized. It's like in Pulp Fiction. The light that just bounces back out.
Yeah.
An eye is just covered in this glowing light that is emerging, and you almost hear an angelic noise.
She says, it'll take a little spun sugar once it's cooked. Have you ever seen spun sugar?
No.
Great. So she says a word you've never heard.
Yeah. I gathers, how many can I kind of gather in my two hand, like, bear in mind I've got
They're in the
hands.
oven. You want to try and reach into the
Yeah,
oven?
there's no...
Okay. Do you have resistance to fire damage?
No.
Okay.
I feel like we're having flashbacks here, and it sounds to be like,
You take
honey,
five.
you can't eat.
5 points of fire damage as you try to get these things out of the oven with your bare hands.
Do I manage to take any?
You can get one. Yeah. You can get one of them out. It clatters to the floor immediately. Instinctively, you drop it. Oh! Not yet. It's not finished. It's not finished.
Aye, that's rude.
Enjoy what we have on the table. Make sure you leave room. And I will sort you out with all of these, but you've got to be careful with your hands.
I is licking his hands.
Yeah, you do have some caramel on your hands.
Sorry.
Don't at the table, you're embarrassing me.
She gets a tea towel and puts it up, scoops it up, puts it back in the oven.
I think it's table manners, not letters, that we need to teach I.
Ask, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Ask away, dear boy.
When do you think your chart was taken from you?
A couple of weeks ago. Couple of weeks.
And did you ever see the person that moved into the house?
No, not since.
Not since.
Well, I saw them on the first night. Sorry. Oh, you weren't here.
Sorry, I should have.
darling. No, not at all. So, I was out on the porch. Chap came over, wanted to talk. We had a drink. He asked what I did. He said he'd bought the house just across the way. This was before everything got, black.
What did this chap look like?
Sort of hard to. It's sort of hard to. I can't quite fix it in my brain. Dark hair, I think. Dark hair. Really unremarkable.
But you sat and drank with him.
Yes, I know. But by the time I woke, I'd forgotten rather a lot. I remember that we spoke of what I did. I remember I explained about the charts. But then I remember being on the porch, and then I woke up in my bed.
I'll be honest with you, Aska, we believe we're being followed. And so it's important that we know who this person was.
Because I know a little bit more about the wasp, can I roll insight on that? Because there is obviously something about the wasp.
Are you trying to roll? Are you trying to establish whether or not you think she's telling the truth, or are you trying to go into your own mind for memories of the wasp?
Memories of the wasp.
That's a history check.
History, sorry.
No, not at all.
And actually, sorry, for it's not just you. Even I haven't opened my sheet, although it is there. But that's only a 10 for me.
It's a 10.
I knew something was missing.
You don't remember reading physical descriptions of the wasp. The wasp can take multiple forms. Or reading would be wrong, but hearing, you've heard different descriptions whenever you've heard the wasps mentioned. Well, right. Well, I'm going to have her roll a sort of. I'll have her roll a wisdom save to see if she can, through like sheer force of will, and she's not. In fact, I'll do a charisma save because it's sort of sense of self, and she's not unskilled in this. So she has a +4 to the roll, and we'll call this a DC 15. That's a 9 becomes a 13. It's funny, every time it's like one tries to describe it, and it sort of shifts. It's like trying to describe patterns in sand with a wave that keeps coming in and out, and it's like it clears the picture every time I try to hold it in my mind.
No one's ever known what the wasp looks like.
All of the costumes were different sizes.
Yes. Yeah.
What does that tell you?
That the wasp takes on many different forms.
How? How could that be?
That I don't know.
Your amulets. You cannot change size.
I do not change size. It creates an illusion.
So it is not the same. There is something else.
You ever heard about anything like that?
It's a 6. No, nothing. You all look terribly worried. Are you safe?
We're never safe. Sorry, we're bringing the mood down.
Does anyone know you're here with me?
No.
We do not know.
We haven't told anyone, if that's what you're worried about.
I'm not worried for me. I mean, there's 6 of us here. I'm sure we're capable of holding our own against...
Did you ever tell Dolas the name of the person we were going to see?
You did not.
I didn't.
You did not reveal the name to anybody until you asked...
Until we were in Seascale.
Until you were in Seascale and you asked, I think, was it
The fisherman?
a fisherman?
Fisherman, yeah.
Then Asker, no one knows we're here with you.
Right. Well then, as I see it, we can at least... You can at least sleep soundly tonight.
As you said, it doesn't change anything. We have the chart. We know where we have to go. Are you still willing to do this for us?
Well, yes, of course.
We're not going to let anything happen to you.
No, I know. No, you read me wrong. It's not... Do you know what you're walking into?
Aska, we've had a target on our back for weeks now. What does this change?
Well, nothing, I suppose, in one sense, but you are willingly placing yourself in harm's way.
If we stand still, we're in harm's way. If we move back, we're in harm's way. If we move forward, we're in harm's way.
The only way to get out is to go forward.
I think I might have something to help. Roll me a history check with advantage, Dolly.
10.
10. Aska goes to... Aska disappears upstairs. The food's starting to cool now on the table, like untouched. I don't know. Oh, you're going to start?
Untouched was bold.
Untouched was untouched by most of you. You're picking. Are you sitting or are you standing? Who's...
I'd be nervously pacing, I'd imagine.
Yeah, right, okay. So, after a minute or so, Aska comes back downstairs and she has a little wooden chest, very small chest, ornately gilded with flowers and a sort of overset flowers and leaves in gold, almost like brocade, over the top of a wooden chest. And you would recognize this as Aska's sort of vanity case. And she was always very concerned, as you know, with not aging, with not getting. And she pulls out a little pot, blue glass, and it looks to be filled, or almost completely filled, with a cream. And she says, I bought this quite a while ago. People said it would prevent... Well, it was slowed... Well, it doesn't matter what I thought it would do. But what it does is all I found was it just makes you feel like you've had a really rather good night's sleep. Well, I have no need for that these days. So, look, have that, because I think it might help.
I can't take that. It's yours.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You're walking into something utterly ludicrous and, by the sounds of it, extremely dangerous. The least I can give you is a pot of cream. Roll me a D6, Dolly.
5.
Okay. This contains enough for 5 doses, and by applying it, it will give you the benefit of a long rest. If you're heading into danger, then perhaps that will help.
You really don't need to help us this time.
Well, I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, really. I'm already sailing you across a black lake.
Thank you. I know back in those days we weren't all the most trusting individuals, but I appreciate it.
I don't think it'll make any difference. But and she sort of throws her arms up. She looks a little deflated for the first time. She says, I swear you can trust me. I know how ridiculous that sounds even as it comes out my mouth, but I swear you can trust me.
I know,
I hope I can trust you. I feel like I can.
Yeah, I know. I just been burned at the stake before.
Yes. And then she looks at you, and really looks at you, and says, we all have, darling. And in that moment, you realise that you don't know anything about where she comes from.
Well, I know I can trust these root vegetables.
Well, you must. Yes, please, sit. Come on, let's eat something.
I
It'd
give
be such
Dolly's
a
hand a
shame.
little squeeze as we sort of go and sit at the table.
As everyone's eating and I've not sat at the table, I would like to just see if I can just find a small little jar, some sort of anything.
Yeah.
And I would just like to slip out the door and head back down to the basement.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me a stealth check.
That is a 23.
In you go.
And I would like to fill up this small jar with wasps from the wall. Just sort of fill up as much as I can.
Great. Roll me a 2d12.
Where is that 12 gone?
Or feel free to roll 1d12 twice. I don't mind how you
Yeah. 8 and 12.
12. You have 12 little mummified wasps in there.
No, sorry, as in 12 as a second roll. So
20 mummified wasps, baby.
Okay, I would like to head back up to the house. And as I come back in, I want to approach Kel. And I go up to him and I hold out this jar, just sort of low for him to see. And I say,
Kelnis, you sees a lot. You sees through many things. If there is a time when I pulls this out and I puts it down in front of someone, you looks at them, you sees their reaction. Yes?
It's a bottle of dead wasps.
It might make sense.
and I put it in my pouch. Great. Just carry on as though nothing has happened.
And under slightly more somber circumstances than you might have anticipated, you sit down to a really good meal. Asar wants to keep you all topped up with drinks and wants to get conversation flowing and wants you to relax. I'm going to have her sort of roll a persuasion check or a performance check just to see how good a job she is doing at making you feel comfortable, but don't feel like you're absolutely tied to the result of this roll. Again, I'm giving her a +4. It's a 22. So I would say...
So where does the cream go?
Oh, darling, don't ask me questions like
No,
that.
I do. I want to know.
No,
When we put the cream on, where does it go? Because I don't want to put it in the wrong place and it not to work.
Where do you think it goes?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
sometimes
think I
creams
want
go in
to
weird
know.
places.
She reaches out and she just, with one finger, just almost caresses, but just strokes your forehead, says, it can go here. It goes down the side of your cheek. It can go here. it can go... Well, the effect is the same.
Can I roll an insight?
Yes, you may.
Oh, good. It's an 18, so it's
She is gently flirting with you.
Cal takes a spoon, gets a little bit of gravy on it, and goes and radiant.
Roll me a ranged attack. So your just a d20 plus your dexterity modifier. Did you say a spoon? You're proficient in all uses of a spoon, so you can add your proficiency bonus to it. So your dex modifier plus your proficiency bonus
My proficiency bonus.
is a +3 at this point. I think is it +3 or is it +4?
Are you talking about my dex? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's +6.
+6.
That's 12.
What's your AC?
13.
Okay, it doesn't hit. You just essentially throw gravy on the floor.
You guys behaved yourselves. Oh my god.
Come on,
I'm
Kelnis,
so
please.
sorry.
He's asking silly questions. Where is he going to put the cream on his butt?
Well, don't put the gravy on the floor.
The mind boggles.
I just slips down onto the floor and just laps out.
It's still good, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's very tasty.
I'm glad to hear it.
You guys are so embarrassing.
It's like a travelling circus.
It's lovely to have company. God, I didn't think I'd get lonely, but sometimes I get lonely, you know?
And sometimes I think you're welcome to keep them.
Can leave him here anyway.
Well, you're always assured of a warm welcome if ever you're in Seascale again.
Asker,
Yes.
I'm not going to kiss you.
Oh my god, Radiant.
Roll insight on her.
I actually don't believe that.
What did I?
So now one radiant kisses her.
It's a 13.
Okay, she is completely not blindsided by that. And
I've just been in this situation before.
darling, we all have.
I just don't want to do it in front of my friends.
No, I know, but part of the fun is the little frisson of it. I shouldn't have. Sorry, you're a guest.
He has kissed me.
Now, that's an interesting idea.
I just want to say this isn't the place for that, but I appreciate the touching.
You've got very soft skin despite the scars.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, do you want the rest of us to leave?
Actually, yes. Let's go.
Do you know those scars are all over?
She might even find out.
Interesting.
Let's go. Why don't we go to the living room and leave these two at the table?
Okay, fine.
The same room. It's
No,
like
we're going that way. It's
sitcom
the same
logic.
room.
You've taken one step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all just going to stand up and awkwardly move to the other side of the room.
Okay.
Come on, let's go see if those toffee apples are ready.
Okay, as I leave, I go,
And we has felt each other's hearts.
Literally going to lead you by the hand to the kitchen. Let's go look for the apples.
So check. If you check in the oven and they are. Oh yeah, no, go on. Roll me a nature check.
Nature?
Yeah, to see how well you know how to cook.
Not that well. It's an 8.
I don't think you would have done it.
No, I don't need to. I'm noble. What the hell?
Elowyn sticks her hands.
Yeah.
We have a chef.
Could be good. Could be. You don't really know. You can't really get a read on it.
I'm not really bothered by the apples.
No.
We've established this, right? I just want to get us out of that.
Stop coming on to my old.
I'm not coming on. I asked about the cream, and then she started touching my face.
I'm sorry. It's me who set the tone. That was rude of me.
Dolly, come and help me with these apples.
set any time.
I'm coming. I'm leaving.
I can't help it that I'm an accidental thirst trap.
She looks at you. The rest of you leave the table, and she reaches her hand across. She puts it on top of yours, and she pats it. And she says, "I am sorry, darling. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable at all.
You didn't make me feel uncomfortable. You just made them feel uncomfortable.
It's just nice to have something lovely to look at. That's all. I mean, Kelnis is a little bit of a dreamboat as well, I have to say. I haven't seen scales like that since I was much younger. My goodness. Well, I'm still very young. Since a while ago.
People keep saying that.
He's very gold, you see.
Very gold.
Oh, by the 9, he's probably the most extraordinarily lustrous gold I think I've ever seen.
That's so strange.
Well, it means... What do you know about it?
I know that there are degrees of colour.
So the chosen fourscore that they call them, from the Legion, they were the purest gold by all accounts. And that was indicative of their adherence to the virtues of Aurum, justice and nobility. And then, as time went on, and some of us fell from the teachings, and she points at her own scales, her bronze scales. Some of that enthusiasm and that fervour got somewhat diluted by life and the realities of long winters and some loveless marriages and some bad financial decisions. And over time, well, those of us a little more like me have turned to more autumnal colours. But Kelnes, that gold is indicative of a parentage that was extraordinarily devoted, and a bloodline that continues that devotion to the god right back to the chosen fourscore. That's most unusual.
Can you believe that?
It's not that I believe it, darling, it's that I know it to be true.
This is one room. Can I hear this?
You've got past it. I don't think she's trying to be... Yeah, I think you definitely can, actually, Kel. It's up to you whether or not you interject, but you are being spoken about.
I think if I'm hearing this, I'm just going to keep listening.
Mm-hmm.
But as I pick up on the conversation, I'm going to more actively listen.
Yep.
It doesn't make you any less, you know.
Oh, darling, if I was worried about whether or not I adhered to the virtues of the Fortis Legion, I would have made a series of different life choices. I am very happy with the path I took. Look! And she gestures to the room with this beautiful, with just lovely things. A room full of lovely things. A room full of friends, good food, good drink. She says, I have everything I need. It was a long time ago that I stopped having any kind of insecurity about my family or where I come from. If you believe it, we all come from Aurum anyway. We all mourn the death of the god. We all have sadness in our hearts. An extraordinary thing has ended. But I'm just as much his child as Kelnes, or Segovax, for that matter, or Carvilius. We're all children of the god. You're a child of some god. And she really looks at you. Thalon?
Probably.
Oh, there we are. Do you think Thalon would see your scars and think you less? I don't see any reason why.
I don't think Thalon would think anything at all.
Well, not these days. Sorry, that was... Your god is dead. I've been saying it to people.
We saw them, you know.
Really?
Dead.
And all her sort of slightly raconteur rakishness dissolves. You were at the top of the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
So you were there?
Yes.
But...
They were dead already.
And... Did they, roll me insight?
20.
You can sense, even as she begins the question, she's insecure about how exposing the question is and how honest the question is. She says, and did they look glorious?
No.
Oh,
They didn't die well.
really? And at Aurum? And in case, because a long time ago, Aurum was the first body that you found.
I didn't feel anything. I just saw dead bodies. It meant nothing to me. But they did. They cared.
Who's they?
The Antiqua. I've never heard anything like it. Wailing, screaming, panicking, fear. These are the most powerful clerics in all the land, and they were scared. What is coming is terrifying. We are scared. We pretend not to be, but I can see it on their faces every single night. I pretend to be strong for people. But I'm scared.
We all are. And you know more than most. And you know more than most about what there is to fear. But it's like Dolly said. We have to move forward. We have to try. I don't believe in divine intervention, but I do believe, to an extent, in fate. I believe we're placed where we're meant to be at certain times. Not divine ordinance, just some sense of fortune, fair or foul, and for what it's worth. I think you were all meant to be there. I think you were meant to be the ones to find them. I think you were meant to go through what you're going through, as hard as that must be to bear. I don't know why I have more faith in the five of you than I do in, well, most other things, really. You're very strange, all of you. I think that's probably rather a good thing in an increasingly strange world.
We will try and make sure nothing bad happens to you, but I can't promise that it won't.
Oh, I know. I know. God, what is it that I give off? Because you all keep assuring me that I'm going to be taken care of, and I don't think I've particularly registered an interest in that.
Wherever we go, danger follows.
Yes. Do you think I had a straightforward path to get here?
What I have seen in the past few weeks, I never thought I would see, and I would never wish anyone to see. I'm just preparing you for what's ahead.
Well, I'll think on that. But I've lived well, Radiant. I'm afraid of very little.
I stroll over. I've heard all of this, and I walk up behind Radiant. I just place my hands on his shoulders, and I say, Old Gloomy Gus has been learning how to live again.
What do you mean?
Well, he died for a little while, so...
You died?
Earlier, just now, you spoke about meaning to be here. That maybe there is a power beyond us that is keeping us here, that is placing us in a scenario where we can change things. I died. And for some reason, I'm still here.
Now that's a rare case.
Yes, it is.
She leans in and she says, would you like some tart tatin?
Yes, he would.
Well, wait right there. Because if you've just come back from the dead, what a way to celebrate being alive. And she does a little bit of sugar work, a little bit of spun sugar between two chopsticks, and creates this sort of nests of spun sugar and serves you all a wedge of tart tatin with spun sugar and a sort of cinnamon vanilla cream that she whips up and puts on top.
I forget entirely about toffee apples.
It's a sort of deconstructed toffee. Is there anything else you guys want to do this evening?
No. I'm ready to rest.
He's ready to rest.
No, just like, gonna at some point when we're all eating pie and stuff, just be like, I'm sorry about before. I didn't mean to suggest that you hadn't been through stuff as well.
A closed book can't blame others for failing to open, can it?
No, I know. But we all have our stories.
Of course we do. No. No offense, man. No offense taken. She takes a big, deep breath, and she leans into your ear, and she whispers, I'm 78. And then sits back at the table as if nothing has happened. Says, right, well, some of us ought to clear up. I will say, as the host, it ought to be me, but I will also say that was absolutely delicious and it probably shouldn't be me.
It absolutely will not be you.
Good, I'm going to smoke a pipe. Anyone want to smoke a pipe?
I clicks his heels under the table.
Absolutely do not want to smoke a pipe, so I'm going to start collecting up dishes.
I would like to smoke a pipe.
I'll join you in the kitchen.
So, Raging, would you like to join with kitchen crew, pipe smokers, or just sit in a
I'm
revel?
going to sit.
Gonna sit.
I just want to say, I think the way this functions is everyone is gathering things off the table, and I is just there, and they turn around, boom.
Have you ever played the game Overcooked?
Into the next person, and everyone's doing,
Yeah, brilliant. Roll me a dexterity saving throw,
Okay. That is a... Oh, okay, yeah, 17.
Okay, you don't break a thing. There is on your first journey. You clatter things down ever.
Oh, sorry,
so
more than... Oh, no, it is because I get proficient. Yeah, it's a dirty 20. I get,
Oh, okay.
proficiency.
I was going to say on your first kind of trip back and forth, you put something down slightly too hard in the sink, and it clatters, and Elowin looks at you as if to say. But actually, what I will say instead is, Elowin sees the speed at which you're moving and goes to sort of say, "I be careful," but you have never been so efficient or so graceful in all the time they've seen you. It's a masterpiece watching you stack these dishes and clear away.
And as he does this, and it just, this perfect sort of like teamwork unison, you just hear him muttering under his breath, and he's just over and over going,
Tribe is many, tribe is one, tribe is many, tribe is one.
Like a little...
and it's a mantra.
It's a little
And
mantra.
It's almost in like,
Concentrate.
yeah, he's almost in like a meditative state, literally just, yeah.
Tribe is many, tribe is one.
Just,
Perfect. Kel, Aska goes into a long leather-bound box. She clicks a clasp, and inside in a silk-lined case is a beautiful, ornate pipe which she fills with herbs and weeds, and she lights up and takes a drag and then passes it to you.
I blow a perfect smoke ring over the table.
Perfect.
Do you? Or are you going to roll for it?
Roll me.
By the way, I have
roll
a
me.
plus 20 on
smoke
fluid.
Let's. What do we call that? We could call it performance. We could call it dex. It is a dexterous thing.
Sleight of mouth.
Sleight of mouth.
oh,
I always roll that. I got a 6.
Roll just a dexterity
Just
check. I'll tell you what. Do you have proficiency in dexterity saving throws? Do you have a little black? I think you do have a little black dot next to it. in your saving
No.
throws. Okay. Well, just roll me a d20 and add 6.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah. It's a really.
Sorry, Aoife.
It's a really good. You do it in that slightly cheats way, where actually what you do is you just hold a 0 and just flick the side of your mouth and, to create the ring. You don't do it with like a glottal, like a.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a cheats
with
way of
the-
doing it. Yeah, you got it up.
I did not know you
can
could
create
that,
smoke rings
you
like
could do
that.
it the cheap way.
I've been to enough teenage house parties.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I hand the pipe back to her.
And it smells of lilac and lavender, and it smells of the forest and the sea. It's a really good pipe, and it's packed with good stuff. And she takes a drag and blows a smoke ring of her own. It's incredibly bad. She coughs. She says, sorry, darling, it's been a little while since I had... One really does a pipe for oneself. How are you? Really? You've been ever so quiet since we cooked.
It would appear that my past has caught up with me.
Has a funny way of doing that. And she gestures her head towards Dolly as she says it. Although I gather this is not such a happy reunion as mine and Dolly's.
No. And unexpected as well. I would suggest that tonight we have several people watching the house down the hill.
They found something, didn't they? Something. They didn't force a lock and pick it up from a side table. That's quite clear to me.
They found... Well, it would appear that your new neighbor is not all... Well, is not as innocent as they may have first appeared.
Right. So the chart and that theft is not the worst of their...
I do not know why they stole your chart. I suspect now that the person who you met and cannot remember what they look like may be hunting me and my friends.
Ah.
But specifically me.
Well, they'll keep you safe, won't they? The other four.
I am more concerned about keeping them safe.
Well, that's a good sign. You care about each other, don't you?
I believe we do.
Family and all that schmaltzy stuff.
It is like a family.
No, I remember. Well, that's gone straight to my head.
What of your family?
Roll me persuasion. Perhaps a story for another time, when you return safely.
At some point, I think we're just like bustling around, cleaning up dishes and stuff. I'm gonna grab another little piece of the tart tatin and place it down next to Radiant and be like, "Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's on your mind?"
Nothing.
Sure. What's really on your mind?
What if one of us dies?
One of us already did.
Can't happen every time. You're not going to be around to save me.
No. And maybe next time it'll be a different one of us and someone won't be around to save them, but that doesn't change whether we're right here doing exactly what we are now or we're somewhere else.
One of those bodies in there, the face, portrait, I knew him. He was a friend.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I am too. That is no way to die.
No, it really isn't. Well, then we find the person that did it and fuck them up.
Yeah.
Death's just death. It's all around us all the time.
I know. But we do it all the time. We just kill people for no reason.
Not for no reason, right? And we've never killed someone just because we felt like it.
Doesn't matter. Someone could do that to us.
Yeah, they might. So what? Whether you're holding the sword or at the other end of it, you just gotta keep one foot in front of the other all the time.
I think what I'm trying to say is, this is the first time in my life that I haven't wanted to die. That if I truly went, I think a part of me would be sad about going because it's the first time that I actually have something to live for.
Then hold on. You were annoyed when I brought you back.
Yeah.
So hold on to what you're feeling now. Don't fucking leave yet. We have a lot to do, and we're gonna need you before the end.
Okay. Thanks for the
Yeah.
top to down. Never had one before. It's quite nice.
And after that conversation with you, Cal, Asker sort of says, right, well, if we need to set watches, I'm happy to play my part, but for now I think I need to sleep.
I is happy to take the first watch.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sleep.
I
Wake me
will
up
watch
whenever
with
you
you, I.
So the rest of you go upstairs, and there's a carpeted hallway. She's had it sort of carpeted, lots of quite a deep pile, bookshelves. Each of the spines, she's not arranged them by colour, but the spines are beautiful, and a dark wooden desk under a window that overlooks the lake, and then 2 bedrooms, one which Asker goes into and the other which some of you can go into, and it's a double bed. It has a chaise longue, so there's room comfortably for 3 of you to sleep.
Throw myself down on it.
Scoot over, Dolly.
Fine.
So both of you are on the chaise longue.
Radiant's like a star. Doesn't sleep anyway.
Yeah. I and Kel roll perception checks, please.
I would also like to say, if possible, I has taken his time to climb up onto the highest roof sort of point, and is sort of cape little billowing in the wind.
Totally.
Just sort of looking
Totally.
It's a little Assassin's Creed moment.
out. It was a
Perception.
17.
17?
21.
21. You see no movement around the house, either coming towards the one you're occupying with Asker, nor to the one where you found the wasp's hideout.
Okay.
That's the first 4 hours.
From the roof, can I try and go, as it's our time, can I try and lean over to the room that they're in and just swing down into the window?
Roll me an acrobatics check.
That is a 26.
Yeah, absolutely. Why the hell not?
So cool.
Form straight in, and I take that momentum sliding across the floor, and no one even sees. You just hear a and I just slide straight onto the bed.
Who's going to take... So Cal also is the opportunity if you want to go to bed.
I think I'll as quietly as I can, because I don't want to wake up Aska. I think that
I'm fine.
as a reward for
done my-
such a great meal, I'd like Aska to sleep through the night.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs and I find the others, and I gently say, it's somebody else's watch.
Yep. I'm up.
Great.
I'll go down and just
Great.
sit downstairs and take the next watch.
Yep, Radian watches the house. Dolly watching the
window.
Yep. So roll perceptions each, please.
9.
9,
18.
18. There's certainly nothing in the house.
I'd like to leave the house.
Okay.
Are you with me right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be in the room with you, I guess.
I want to go and find Dolas. We said we'd meet him.
Yeah, in the morning.
It's still the middle of the night at this point, so you're.
Oh, it's in the middle of the night?
Yeah. So you're 4 hours into the watch. So you would be. So if you wanted to wait till the very end of that 8-hour period, it's probably getting on for 5 o'clock in the morning, and you'd meet him at first light, which would probably be around 8 o'clock.
Okay, great. I don't want to go and meet Dolas.
I know we're slightly fudging an 8-hour thing,
Yeah.
but I think we'll call that morning. So Elowyn gets a full night sleep.
I'm the one that needs it as well.
You hear a door open, which is Asker's room, and one of you goes to step out into the landing, and she slams the door on you and goes, "Not yet, not yet, not yet!" And you hear her go into a bathroom.
Sorry.
No, not yet, darling, not yet. I haven't arranged myself.
All right, you just let me know when you're done.
Yes, well, no, of course I will. And about 45 minutes later, Asker emerges looking, fully dressed. She's put her big hat on again. Right, well, past that incident. What's the plan?
We do have to decide if we want to deal with the occupant of the house first or go to the Sanctum.
I think we go.
We go.
We have no idea where they are.
I
Who
thinks
they are.
I thinks they will find us.
We need to go to the coral bones first.
Do we?
Yes, to find Dolas.
Do we need dollars?
We need Dolas,
What for? We're not going through the front door. We don't need a dragonborn.
but we're going through the back.
We needs one for the water.
Didn't he tell us roughly where things were?
We need a Fortis Legion to cross the water.
No, didn't we need a chart and a dragonborn that knows the waters?
Aska can get us out into the water, but she doesn't know where the stairs are. I think that's only a Legion member would know that.
I know you're quite rightly nervous, but we need Dolas.
If he tries anything, I will be the first to make sure, nothing happens to any of us.
Okay, let's go find him.
What's up?
Yep.
Gog's on.
No, I can see it's morning.
Gog on.
You head out into Seascale. As a fishing town, Seascale wakes reasonably early. They get out at first light, tending the nets, getting out onto the water. That smell still coming off it, sulphurous and dank and rotten. And Asker arranges that she's going to prepare the boat, which you can see at the end of that little T-shaped jetty. It's a relatively small craft, but there'd comfortably be room for the 4 of you. You can see that there are little portholes almost on the waterline where you can see like a lower area, and then there's a flat deck with 2 raised areas on at either end, like a pirate ship. And she kind of is preparing the boat. And you move through the docks. You go through the markets where people are preparing for the
God, this
catch.
place stinks of fish.
I likes it.
It smells like rotting fish.
What?
And outside the Coral Bones Tavern, you see Dolas, as arranged, in his Fortis Legion trousers with his pack, all seemingly waiting for your arrival.
Dolas.
Yes.
Come with us.
Right. And he,
Anything to report?
my absence was not as noted as I flatter myself it would have been. So, no, it was all relatively straightforward.
Good.
Unsurprising.
And for you?
Relatively straightforward.
Glad to hear it.
So how long will it take to get to where we need to go?
In order to avoid detection from those watching the main gate, we will need to take a wider passage, but it depends on the conditions, the chart. 3 hours on the water.
Okay.
But on it with a fair wind. I can't speak to the sailing.
We've got someone for that. Just make sure and get to this passageway without us being seen, and we'll take care of the rest.
That I can do.
I turns to Kel and goes,
One moment, big scale. I wants to make sure I has everything.
and I reach in and I pull out a tinderbox, a little torch, water skin, and then just this little jar of wasps and some spoons. And I'm looking through.
And I see this and I look up at Dolas and I observe his reaction.
Roll me an insight check.
"13."
He looks at the things that you're getting out of your pack, and he looks around and says, "What are you doing? You shouldn't prepare here."
Me has got everything. Me has things.
But
Kel, he seems to be confused more than... You don't see horror or rage. You see confusion and what looks to you like an awareness of doing the peculiarity of doing this in a public space.
I just does the bag back up, puts it on.
"Are you ready, me?"
Me is ready.
Well, so is me. I'm sorry, Mark. Dolas is ready.
Goods.
"Well, we have a boat being prepared."
Well, then, let's
get back.
Yeah, before. I don't know if there are crossings scheduled for today for the Legion. I don't want to be here if there are.
No time like the present.
And you make your way back to the docks, where Asker is waiting. And she's put on she's put on a sort of very long coat, purples and blues, epaulets on the shoulders. And she sort of swings on one of the ropes that holds the sails that have not yet been unfurled but have been tied in position. And she doffs a little tricorn hat that she's put on. She says, "Ahoy there. This is our guide, is it?"
Mm-hmm. Dolas, Aska Dolas.
Well, I'm pleasure to meet you. I mean, you're the guide, really. Well, it would seem my skills are useless without yours, darling. On you get.
Where do we set sail?
Now. Right away.
Well, let's go.
And she directs you. She takes the helm. She gets Dolas to stand next to her. She unfurls her chart. Says, "Right, hold this, will you?" Almost like he's holding it like a map for her. She's sort of peering down at it. Everyone roll perception on Asker. Go ahead.
16.
Natural 6.
Natural 6. Radian.
23.
23.
14.
14.
19.
Everyone apart from I notices that she might be a little short-sighted, and she's sort of, or a little long-sighted, but she's sort of trying to. She does that thing where you have to sort of get your head in a position, and she says, "You're stood too close."
I is just admiring the hat.
The hat is fabulous, and she directs you to one of you to untether the boat from its mooring, two others of you to put up sails, and she says, "Well, for the Sanctum."
Hollie's trying to do that, but like touch things as little as possible.
And the sails unfurl. They fill with the wind that is.
Can I say, I has never experienced anything like this. I's never seen, never really been on a body of water in any kind of way. This is entirely
Roll me a dexterity saving throw as the
overwhelming and
ship
new.
sets off.
That is a 24.
At first, it's the feeling of when you had a drink for the first time, and your body's still, but everything else is moving. And then you find that there is almost a freedom in it. And you remember, not that you did formal training when you were back with your tribe, but there were certain things that people used to do, and there was this thing called log balance. And you used to find a big log and you used to put it on rocks, and you would stand either side of it and you would try to knock each other off by sort of bouncing and shifting your weight. And you realize that that has served you surprisingly well. And despite the fact this is as far away from your cave as you can imagine, you feel at home and competent here.
I would like to go up to the very front of the ship and just kind of put my head over peer my head. Sorry, microphone. Peer my head forward and just feel the splash of the sort of sea.
And as I stands at the bow of the boat, the splash of black water all around him and this foam rising up as the bow starts to cut a path through Fathom. We'll take a little break.
Don't adjust your sets. It's me, Hollie Bennett. And here's the deal. The other day, I complained to Ben that he didn't get to the point quick enough, that during these ad breaks, he waffles on about some inane thing for a minute and a half before finally making a last-ditch plea for you to sign up to patreon.com/natural6 and all the bountiful extra content that awaits you there. But not me. That's not how a Oliver Bennett operates. You mean, you saw what I just did? While Ben disturbingly tries to edge you with unnerving mental imagery, I've already taken you to data heaven with one simple use of my mouth. I want you to factually climax almost immediately. I mean, you heard me. 0 to overwhelmingly informed in 3.2 seconds. And what a 3.2 seconds it was. According to the spreadsheet that some people say I unnecessarily made at 2 a.m. this morning, 91% of you are currently frothing at the brain. All the data, none of the mess. If there's one thing I've learned in my time as me, it's that nothing sates one's mental lust like the efficient delivery of a factual payload. Not like Ben, linguistically flailing around with his weird arms, hoping to land the plane. He doesn't even have a pilot's license. I, on the other hand, have 12. One for every month of the year. All Ben has are 2 left hands and a pair of fucking ugly gloves. So please join me in saying patreon.com/natural6 as fast as possible. Patreon.com/natural6, patreon.com/natural6, patreon.com/natural6. And believe me, that's just a taste. So sign up and see how surgically fast I can be. And if you let me, well, maybe I'll consider operating on you, just for a little bit, depending on what tier you join. It might hurt. It might not. I won't tell you which tier's which.
And we're back. The ship glides out into the black water. The Sanctum, a monolith of white marble beyond, the silver of the sky. You sail into the monochrome vastness of it all. Doas stands next to Asar, holding her chart and directing her towards the cove. Here's how this is going to work. I would like one of you to make a luck check. If you fail, the chart will be wrong, and the blackness of the water will have changed it. If you pass, you will continue unfettered.
Who wants that response?
I'll do it.
Yeah, I
There is
always
going
bad
to
at
be
luck check.
more than one of these.
I'm going to do it.
Okay,
Do we shove it through this
10
wall?
or higher.
No, it's. I don't.
not that.
Also,
'cause
Do you want to put?
Yes.
Should we do these in here?
Yeah.
So, why don't you put it in that, and we'll just give it to whoever.
Should we do the same?
Yeah, let's use
The
Big
same
Chonky
guy?
Boy. This is one of the official ones, right?
Yes.
This is one of
Yeah.
the official D&D 50th anniversary
Move it
ones.
more this
In
way.
fact, this
Yeah,
was,
make sure it's
this
in.
was a thank you. This was a gift when we were in Gamescom.
Gamescom,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
Okay. So you need to roll a 10 or higher.
For luck.
Oh, God.
That is a 2. Roll me a D6, Radiant.
Why be like this?
He never.
No, I know. And, like, the more he amps it up.
4.
A 4.
Nailed it.
So
That's a good
you have been, as you start to drift out into this water, you can see, as you look at the chart and you see what Dolus is holding up, that Aska has marked out areas of it where there are sudden changes in the elevation of the seabed, where there are squalling winds. And she's got it at sort of mid-sail, if you like. Half the sails are up. And then as she turns the tiller, suddenly a wind like rips into the side of the ship. I would like 2 people to make acrobatics checks. Either 2, so one from I,
I'll do one.
one from Elowin. It's a DC 14.
16.
16.
I'm going to use heroic inspiration.
Okay.
And I got rolled the same.
Wow.
Wow, that's so bad. And it was acrobatics.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only a 10.
It's a 10. Okay, so that is 1 pass and 1 fail. You dash, you hear Aska shout, reduce the sail, reduce the sail! And she seems panicked for the first time, and you manage to get over and you start to kind of tie something up, and the sail is reducing sort of
As
further.
she instructs.
As you instruct. You obey the instruction.
I'm just looking at her and she's going, that bit there! That there!
And that is going, whereas Elowin, as you get to it, the rope is moving too quickly for you to kind of cling onto it and hang onto it. And what you see is this tear appears in one of the sails. That's just going to reduce the ship's speed by 5 feet per round. So I just need to make a note of that.
This is a bad time to say I'm really seasick.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Dolly, just take it overboard.
15.
15. Yeah, you...
Much to Hollie's delight.
To Hollie's delight, Dolly swallows her vomit.
I'm a massive empath.
It's a miracle we're still alive.
That is... Can I have another luck check, please, from someone else?
I mean, who hasn't just rolled in this?
Kel hasn't rolled, Dolly hasn't rolled.
Douglas?
Shall I have a go?
Oh, we're doing this.
I'm not even going to be able to see it.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. That is another fail. That
I'm
is
not using this.
A D6, please. Doug, roll me a D6.
D6.
Roll a 4, it goes really well.
6.
6.
Natural 6!
6.
Commit.
As you get into, these are sort of happening at sort of 45-minute intervals through your passage across the water. And again, Aska turns the tiller, and again the sail is suddenly filled, but this time it propels her further forward, as if it's a gust of wind that she wasn't anticipating. But what that will allow you to do is to roll this next luck check with advantage as you find an unexpected passage of clear water.
I don't want this. I don't want to do it.
You
I don't
can't-
like
You
it.
can't, I mean, it
That's
ends
the
the rules.
precedent has been set.
You roll with advantage, though.
Yeah.
You just need to roll higher than a 10.
7, okay.
See what I mean? I didn't want it.
A 3.
3.
Like, why did you make me roll with this?
Because it's so fun. Can you roll?
Oh, having so much fun.
Roll a d6, please, Dolly.
1.
A 1.
We've all, no,
Thank God you didn't
genuinely,
roll
we've
it
been
in
some
there,
bad
right?
rolls today.
What?
The dice tell the rest.
You are over the side of the ship, still struggling to contain your nausea. And you see on top of the black water something spreading or spread out on it. And it's a figure. It's a body lying face down in the water. black hair spreading around it like spilled ink, bobbing on the surface.
Does anyone see that?
I'll go over and have a look.
See? It's a person.
I don't think it's a person we can help.
Well, what's it doing there?
Not having a good time. And I don't think we will either if we stop.
That's so... Okay, that's the last thing I need right now.
Can I investigate the body?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me an investigation check.
It's a natural 20.
A natural 20. You discern with a natural 20 that this thing is breathing with its face down in the water.
It's alive.
What?
As you say that, this head snaps up out of the water, pale skin, glowing blue eyes. Everybody roll initiative. Whew. Anyone get higher than a 20? Anyone get higher than a 15?
18.
18.
15.
16 for me.
Oh.
So then that would be I, that would be Radian, that would be Kel. What did you get, Elwyn and Dolly?
14.
13.
Wow, okay.
12. 11.
Asker is going to stay on the tiller, and Dolus is going to stay on the chart. That is this creature's turn. Radian, you were the one. It's actually Radian and Dolly. Both roll me a d20. Whoever rolls closest to what I roll will be targeted. I rolled a 16.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so it targets Dolly. You see this face rears up, and the hair that was fanning out around the body, just floating in the wash, rolls out. That sort of comes out like tendrils. That is going to do it twice. That is a dirty 20 and a 22 to hit.
Yep.
You, as this hair grabs around you, you take, let me do it like this. Oh, that's really bad. That is 23 points of slashing damage. And you are now grappled. And as a bonus action, it drags Dolly into the water. This hair that's grabbed around you pulls you out of the water and, off the side of the boat and into the water.
Okay, fuck that. Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
Really quickly.
Yep. Really quickly. That's how the mechanics of D&D work. That's how actually Golem works. You only have a reaction if you go, I'll do it really quickly.
It's a dex save.
Dex save has a +6 to dexterity saving throws. That's a 2 becomes an 8.
Yeah, it's a fail. 2d10 fire damage.
What did you roll? 2 ones?
3.
3!
What?
Oh,
What's it do?
You said it too quickly.
You're pretty sure it laughs. That is
But does it
Ai's
hold
turn.
on? Is she still?
Yeah, it does.
Pardon?
Is she still grappled?
Yeah, she's still grappled. So essentially, you can make an escape on your action, but essentially you are just considered grappled for the first round. Now, on the side of the ship, there are harpoons that have been set up. So a harpoon is operable by one of you. It does a lot of damage, but it requires an entire round to reload it. So you get one shot for free, but then you would have to spend your next round reloading it. It's your deck plus your dex to hit, and if you have proficiency in martial weapons, you can add your proficiency to the roll as well. Just to say that. So this creature is 20 foot in the water and 20 feet from the ship, and Dolly is now 5 feet from this creature, 15 feet from the side of the boat. That is Ai's turn.
I would like to take 50 feet of rope. I'm going to run to the edge, tie it around like the sort of let's say baluster at the end. You know, if there's, I'm assuming there's
Balustrade, yeah.
And I would like to throw it down to Dolly.
Roll me a roll me like a dexterity, roll me a ranged attack to see if you can get it close enough to Dolly. And I will say that if you get it to Dolly's AC, then you will have advantage on your check to escape this grapple.
I mean, it's a 9, but what am I adding? Am I adding?
So what would you add to your crossbow minus 1?
So that, I mean, yeah, nice. That is 17.
17. That you throw that rope and Dolly manages to, like, despite the being grappled by the hair and wrapped around by this black hair that smells of it smells like the sulfurous smell of the water itself.
That's so gross.
You reach out and grab onto this rope.
Okay.
That is your action.
Yes. Really, like, as a bonus action, I'm not really. Hide doesn't really kind of work, to be honest. It makes sense. Is it? I'm on.
You can, well, okay, so mechanically you can take the dodge action, which would mean that if you were targeted by another strand of hair, it would do so at disadvantage.
I'll go with the dodge.
Yeah. That is Radian's turn.
So if I'm casting something with a large range,
yes,
would you like me to do an arcana beforehand?
A large range.
So it's sorry if I do with a large
radius. No, I'm going to say that you have control. I haven't put anything in the mechanics of this combat to imply that you have to take steady aim in order to not be rocked by the boat. So I would say that you could just place the radius behind in order to target the creature and not Dolly. They are not yet occupying the same space. Were they occupying the same space, then you would have to target both of them, but it specifically says that the hair has a 20-foot range, and then reeling it in as a bonus action only brings it 15 foot closer.
Fantastic. Then I think it's time to do some damage. I think I'll cast Fireball.
So it has to make a dexterity saving throw. It has a +6 to the roll. And I'll roll in front of the table. What does it need to beat? 15? Is that your spell save DC?
Surely less. It has a disadvantage on that because it's
a 15.
in the water. What is it, a fish?
It has a swim speed. It's 15. Okay, so it needs to roll a 9 or higher. That's a 4.
Big
So
demand.
it's gonna take the full amount of my
8d6. So up to 48 damage.
Come on.
Shall I put it through one of these boys, or shall I roll it myself, Hollie?
Roll it yourself, I think.
There's a joy in that.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've opened up the little box of d6s?
No, I used them in the Battle for Mouse as well, as I've always.
Quick maths, this is the problem.
No, it's interesting. It's 20.
8 did you roll?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Great. Oh, okay.
That's 22.
22 damage. You see that, like, in the darkness of this water and the darkness of the hair and the pale sky and the marble and this monochrome grayscale world that you've moved into, suddenly there is this kind of flash of vivid red as a fireball erupts, licks almost like an oil slick sitting on top of the water, and doesn't so much go down into the surface of it as it just sort of sweeps along it and engulfs this creature in front.
Careful,
20.
nearly got my hair.
22.
Sorry.
Marvelous. That is Kelnis's turn.
Right. As a bonus action. Oh, hang on a second. No, I'm gonna use one of the harpoons.
Great. So, you can. Do you have proficiency with martial weapons? I think
do,
you
because
might
I
now that
took
you're a
the-
warden in the new
That's
player's
right,
handbook.
yes.
So you
So I
can
get
add
plus
your
6?
your dexterity modifier and your proficiency bonus to this, and it has a range of 100 feet.
That's 15?
That is its AC, so you just hit. Can you roll me, ironically, 6d8 piercing damage?
Well,
Yeah,
I
this
need
is
to
a
borrow
heavy
some
weapon
D8
for
from some folks.
heavy things. I've got some D8s if you'd like
Yeah,
some.
pick from. I've got some over here.
I have. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mine are the best. But, you know.
6. I've got 6.
That's 6.
Fine.
68, right?
Yes.
Yours. Yeah.
You watch as the
26.
26.
All happens in slow motion.
You watch as Kelnis gets on this harpoon with it, which has a great big kind of rope attached to the back of it, and this hooked thing slams into the shoulder of this creature, and she gives this this kind of strangled, high-pitched cry, almost like a kind of siren. And she's not enjoying that. That is, unless you've got a bonus action, that is your turn.
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Elowen,
How many harpoons are there?
there is one on the other side. It would take you an action to move it across because this is a heavy thing.
And then I'm just going to take my bow and arrow then.
Yeah.
And that is, that will be a +9 to that is a 15.
Just hits.
So that is...
1d8 plus your dex.
Yes. Where's the D8 gone?
I think it's the one under your hand, isn't it? Oh.
That one. That is a 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 damage.
And I'll do it again.
Yeah.
And that is a critical, because it's a 19. So that'll be
2d8.
4, 8, it's 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. And also this thing, the slow property means that thing's speed is reduced by 10 feet now, right?
Yes, it is.
Great. She is looking really hurt. You can see Dolly as this fireball and then this harpoon and then 2 arrows slam into her. You can see this black ichor starting to spread from her. It's almost indistinguishable from the black of the water, but it's like you can feel the hair starting to sort of loosen its grip around your face and your neck.
Well, it'll cost me an action to get out of that, right? Or to try
I believe it does. I will just check. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it does,
Yeah.
and then if I'm wrong, I apologise.
No, it's fine. In which
you
case
can make
it's-
that roll with advantage.
Yes,
it's
that's right.
a DC 16, but it can be acrobatics or athletics to escape.
I think it's more or less the same. Let's have a look.
You have higher dex than strength, surely.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, I know you're wet, but you're really not my type. And that's
What?
that's not good enough. That's a 12.
That's a 12, unfortunately.
At
You,
disadvantage.
you feel for a moment it's like the hair starts to kind of slide around, and then it redoubles and pulls you
because
back.
of the quip, wasn't it?
That is her turn. And she pulls you
Can I?
in.
Sorry. Can I use a bonus action?
Yes,
to
you
cast
can.
Healing word on myself.
Of course you may. Absolutely.
Just in case. Yeah, I'll do that at second level. Why not?
Is that 3d4?
2d4, which I need because that's not a lot. 3, 7.
7. She, after that quip, you feel the hair tighten around you, and she drags you closer in, and she looks at you and tilts her head and opens her mouth, trying to press it towards yours. Can you roll me a charisma saving throw?
$14.
That fails. You take 8 points of psychic damage, and can you roll me a d6?
No, shan't. 3.
Your strength score is reduced by 3. If it reaches 0, you will die.
Okay.
this lasts until you have a long rest.
Right. Where's my pen?
Do you want pen?
Yeah.
There you go.
Mine's gone.
That is one of her attacks. She then still has 2 of her hair attacks. She's going to do one at Radian because she was considering you first, and she's going to do another. Can Calnus, Elowin, and I roll a d20? Whoever rolls closest to me is who she'll target. I rolled a 16 again.
I rolled a 4.
A 4.
15.
15. 5. So she'll go for Calnus and she'll go for Radian. The first one at Radian is a 3 plus 6 is a 9, and the next one at Calnus is a 16 to hit.
It hits.
That is that is 17 slashing damage as another great strand of hair reaches up to the deck of the boat, wraps itself around you, Cal, and it is going to pull you into the water as well. So Calnus is now in the water. Dolly is in the water. They are both considered grappled. That is I's turn.
I is just going to look over the edge, steady the crossbow, and take a shot into the...
You have allies within 5
I was literally about to say, I was like hoping that it was going to hit first.
It
I wasn't going to say
they're
anything.
It doesn't say they're
until-
incapacitated, it just says they're grappled.
wasn't going to say anything until I knew it hit. Okay. I mean, yeah, that is a 27.
Hits.
And then as I take my shot, I go, like, Dolly is drawn in close for this moment, and I say, should have kept your eyes elsewhere. And I takes a shot, and that's a 1d8 plus 6.
When you say I takes a shot in your voice, there's this wonderful thing where like the syntax of you and the character blur so much together that I don't care what's going on.
My 1d8 plus 6 only came out at a 7, but I have my 3 sneak attack.
Okay.
And that is a 6. That is an 11. That is an extra 14.
Tell me about it.
Say, you should have kept your eyes elsewhere. Let's loose the bolt, and this thing turns, and there's a moment where...
I love that in all of your kills, something turns. It's so anyway, yeah.
And a little bit, and it turns, and a little bit of hair goes to try and like block what's coming, and then the bolt just goes straight through the strands of hair, straight dead in between both eyes.
There is this spurt of black ichor from the head, Dolly, and you feel the strands loosen on you, and you feel the same on you, Calnus. Dolly, you are still clinging onto the rope, but you are out of combat.
Yeah, I'll start pulling the rope back in at least to get Dolly
And I
back up.
start swimming towards the boat.
Great. I'm gonna say, can you give me a DC 15 strength save, Kel, to swim unassisted in this strange water?
I don't get any bonuses on that.
You have a strength strength saving throw.
16?
16. You pass, you make it to the side of the boat and manage to clamber up, others reaching over and grabbing the back of your cloak and pulling you over the side as Dolly kind of shimmies up.
My legs give out in the second I hit the deck. I'm just like, that thing did something really weird.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I felt like I feel really like weak.
Can you stand?
Yeah, just about. Okay, maybe it was just the seasickness. Yeah. So my strength is reduced until...
Your strength is reduced until you finish a long rest.
I'm so weak.
Hey. Give me some of that.
And I take the cream.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Show me where it hurts.
Everywhere.
Okay, I don't know how to do this. She said something about... And then...
You went to Simba.
I why are you moving? Stop moving around. Just let me do this. And then I put the cream on your face.
Okay.
Oh.
And Dolly, you regain everything. You regain all your HP, you regain all your spell slots, and your strength score returns.
Oh. Thanks. That worked surprisingly well. What was in that cream?
I have no idea, but no wonder Aska looks so good for her age.
It's very... Don't say that. That's incredibly rude. Give good stuff. You have no idea how old I am. And she looks at Dolly and says, none of you do. Glad you're all right.
Just a bite.
We need another luck check, please. This is the 4th one, right?
6.
Oh my god.
Roll me a d6.
Jeez.
1. Okay.
Don't make that face.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Audio listeners, he made a face.
It was like a drive-by.
This was only going to happen if you rolled 2 ones. You are reaching the end of this voyage. You pass through areas where Asker calls out instructions telling you to reduce or increase the sail, looking at the chart which Dolas is sort of holding as he's rocking with the boat, trying not to drop it. She navigates through areas where you can see just below the surface the kind of foaming of the water, and she points out, she says, rocks there, just beneath the surface. Many good sailors lost to it. And then another area where sudden squall of wind and you lower the sails and she tacks into it and manages to sort of sweep round and avoid the ship yawing and pitching in the foam. And then you start to near the island, the island called, did I give it a name? Rock Justice. Which sounds, actually, now I say it, like a real bad Band-Aid.
It sounds like a musical.
Yeah, you know what?
Rock Justice on my card.
I'd like to use my DM's discretion to say it has no name. Closest to the island. And that's the worst thing I've ever come up with.
Rock Justice.
Yeah. Okay, it was very late. I've written a very rich world. Every now and then you're going to slip. Right? I'm sure Van Gogh did a ship painting, and you sweep round towards.
He was also crazy.
Yeah, and I've got both ears. So take that, Vincent, Starry Night. You sweep round towards the northeastern edge of this unnamed island on which sits the Sanctum, and Dolas points out a cove, an area of smooth black rock, a little wisp of white sand at the base of it. It says, here, on its way in. Is there a way you can moor or come as close as possible to the land's edge? And Asker says, I think I can do something. And she starts to tack the ship. And as she does so, there is a crack against the side of the boat as something beneath the surface boom, slams into it. It slams into the boat and the boat barely just holds. She goes, what is that? You are the one who is, I'm going to say, is closest to this. Roll me a perception check.
We are rolling like garbage.
We really are.
That's Rock Justice for you.
The unnamed island.
Well, Rock Justice.
No, this can't happen.
That's the
I
name of this
shan't be
episode.
undermined. Please don't call it Rock Justice. It's like Camp Rock. I mean, it's so bad. Rock Justice is like...
It's such a Disney film.
It's like, it's like a Sigma attorney.
Rock Justice is an 80s cop. It's a porn star.
Yeah.
It's
all of the above.
Rock Justice is the sequel to Camp Rock.
Rock Justice. What was
It's
I
a
thinking?
it's a band event. It's like a Rock Justice.
Such
It's
great
like
names.
It's like Band-Aid, but
Yeah,
Rock
it's at the end of
Justice.
CSI where the guy goes, and that's...
No.
I looked at it in the Google Doc and I looked at it and read it out. I was going to just call it Justice. I was going to call the island Justice, and that was all right. I mean, it's not great.
Rock you had to add a little something.
Even
Sometimes
Justice Rock is better than Rock Justice. What did you roll?
Has it been long enough that he's forgotten I've rolled?
A natural one.
Rolled an out one.
You rolled a nat one?
There is a black form underneath the water.
I look
You
over
do
and I
not
go,
know.
there is nothing there.
You do not know what the hell
your
this
imagination.
is. Everybody roll initiative. Ooh. Oh. Anyone get 20 or higher?
Oh, I got a dirty 20.
Okay. Anyone get 15 or higher?
I got a 19.
10 or higher?
11.
5 or higher?
A champion's 9.
What do you get, I?
That one.
You get two
That's 3 ones in a row, though.
Oh my
God.
God.
This is
Jeez.
Get rid of that.
Not
That's
that
cursed.
This is dreadful.
It's a cursed object.
Yeah, we don't like it.
I'm
Well,
missing.
thank you, Mark, at Crafted Campaign.
Sorry, Mark.
That was a freebie.
I've got to sage it later.
Elowin, that is your turn. You can see you get to the side of the ship where the impact was, and there is something underneath the water. I'm going to say this is not the same side as the previous side, so there is one harpoon that is operational.
I'm going to go to the harpoon and I'm going to hold action. I'm literally going to essentially have my hand on the trigger, and because it's under the surface, I don't technically. Yeah, I want to wait till I can see it.
So you want to hold your reaction until it becomes visible to you,
Until it attacks.
at which point you are going to do what?
Loose a bolt.
Use a bolt from the harpoon. Okay. That is Kelnis's turn.
Get to fart.
Okay. Can I
You're
see?
in a horrible mood.
That's so silly.
You're so silly.
Can I see the creature?
You can give me a free, if you like, perception check. This won't be your action. I'll say once one of you passes, you can kind of point it out.
10.
10.
What's wrong with us?
No, I think you just see a shape. You have no idea what you're looking at. You can see a shape beneath the water. You can tell that there is something there, but you don't know what
So
it is.
I can see it enough to aim.
Yes, you
something
can. I would
at
say
it?
you would have disadvantage on a ranged attack, but if you have something which forces it to make a save, it would just do it as it normally would.
When you said, "Can I see the creature?" I thought Werner Herzog in.
Can I see the creature? I must never show it.
Wish to see the baby.
I'm going to cast Moonbeam on it.
Tell me about Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. Okay, it's radiant damage. Silver beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high. 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. You make a magic. What? You can make it. Oh yeah, okay. It's 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save. It's a Constitution saving throw, 16.
Saving throw. It has a +5. It rolled a 14, becomes a 19, so it will take half damage.
Half damage, 2d10.
So roll your 2d10, and I will check the rules and see if there is anything else that we need to know about this.
It's 12 damage, so 6.
6 damage. Great. And
it stays in play.
yep, absolutely.
And I can move it.
It's concentration, so you will. If you take damage, you'll need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
And as a bonus action, I want to cast Barkskin on myself.
Is Barkskin a leveled spell, or is it a cantrip?
It is. No, it's a level.
You're right. I
You can't
do both.
Even if it says bonus action?
Yes, you can't do 2 leveled spells.
Okay, never mind.
Cool. That is. This creature is going to take a legendary action.
What?
What? It is going to make a tail attack against the boat. It is going to slam itself into the boat.
Thinks it's got a tail.
That's a 23.
And I think it's going to attack, so.
Yep, let me roll this damage and then you can do what you like. It does that much damage to the boat. I'm not going to tell you how much damage it's doing. I'm just going to describe what is happening to the boat. There's like some little sort of splinters that come off on the waterline, but the hull of the boat still looks in very good shape. Elowin, it has attacked.
Can she see it though?
Yeah, I will say it makes itself visible at this point.
What does it look like?
That is an 11 plus 6, so 17.
Just hits.
Just hits. Love that for us. So what am I rolling on that?
You are rolling 68.
68. Can I borrow some d8s, please, people? Thank you. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Come on.
That's 10, 27.
27 damage.
Those are Dolly's. Thank you.
Great.
Yours, and thank you, everybody.
That is now this creature's turn.
Again.
Legendary.
It's a legendary
Oh,
action,
right.
so it has 3 legendary actions that it can take at the end of someone else's turn, but it can only take 1 at a time. It is going to...
Fault.
It's going to fart.
Bubble attack.
You can't smell it with all the sulfur around. So
It raises its form out of the water. And you see it for the first time. It is a sort of long, almost squid-like creature with 3 thick tentacles, but a long, powerful tail with a fin. And it has this great grey body with 3 eyes stacked on top of each other at the front, and it has a circular mouth with rings of razor-sharp teeth. It brings itself up to the surface, and it looks at you, Kel. Can you make me... Elowin. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
No. I can actually. It's a dirty 20.
Okay. You pass.
Jealous.
Yeah, thank God.
That is its turn. Dolly, that is your turn.
We're just gonna look at it, and just be like, "You might be scary, but you picked the wrong boat." And I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers, which is a saving throw for it. Wisdom.
Wisdom
throw.
save. It has a +5. It rolled a 6, becomes an 11.
It's a fail. So it is 5d6 psychic damage. So that's 6, 12, 15, 17, 20.
Wow, decent. More than decent, actually.
Decent. Like.
No, but that's good. I mean, 20 on a possible 30 is a good score. Anything else you want to do, Dolly?
Not right now.
Okay. It is going to make a... it's going to take a tail swipe. This time it's going to take it at Kelness. So it kind of rears its tail out of the water and tries to slam it into you, Kel. That is a 21. And it hits you for 14 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
That is now Radiant's turn.
I didn't really want to have to do this again. And he goes, well, here we go again. And he casts Fireball again.
Yeah, it'll make a dexterity save. It has a -1 to dex. It's been going badly for you, so I'll see if it goes badly for me.
No, watch this nat 20.
Yeah.
That's 5 becomes a 4.
Told you that thing needs saging.
That's why I didn't use that
I like that sound.
31.
Radiant. Tell me about it.
So after he's let loose this massive ball of fire, you see this huge kind of explosion happen, and there's fire and it pulsates and there's smoke and you can't really make out what it is. And then as it dissipates, you just see this thing kind of like singed and black and crumpled. And as it does, it just kind of collapses into the water.
And you are out of combat.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but I do not like what's happening with this water right now.
Anyone up for calamari?
Dolas has moved over to the side of the water and turns back to Asar and says, "Have you ever seen anything like this?" She just shakes her head. Like that suddenly serious. The woman in the water she could cope with. This is strange.
What the hell is going on with this chart? You said this was going to be safe.
You're approaching me with this, are you? Think very carefully about whether or not I'm the issue here. And she reaches down and she scoops up a handful of black water and holds it in her hand, and as she does so, it falls through over the bronze of her scale. She says, "Do you not think things may have changed?"
Let it go, Radiant.
We went through a great amount of trouble to get this chart, and everywhere we turn, it's going wrong. I'm saying this is about trust. I'm just looking out for us, that's all.
Yeah, but things have changed.
She reaches, she kind of steers the ship in silently, closer to the shore. And then she drops an anchor at a safe distance and gets a gangplank down and silently puts it down and looks at you, Donnie, and says, "Get him off my ship."
Radiant, go.
Don't even look at her.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, darling.
Are you going to be okay?
How long do I wait for you? I'm assuming you'll need a return journey.
Yeah, we actually didn't think about that. How long can you wait?
If needs be, I can navigate the tides and make a loop. I don't know what it does here on this cove. I've not been here before.
Please be careful.
I will.
As I step off the ship, I turn to her and I just say, "Thank you. Please forgive my friend. I appreciate all that you have done so far for us."
How about we give you a signal? Aye.
And I just does a very small little firebolt, just like a little...
Almost like a tiny flare.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Tell your friend that as this goes on, he will have fewer and fewer he can trust. He should be more careful with his accusations.
You know, don't take it personal. It's just...
It's hard not to. I'm a person.
If I could write, I would leave you a good review.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I mean, before I... It's a 19 plus dirty 20.
She kind of crouches down, puts her arms around you, and gives you a hug. And she says, in draconic, "Be very careful in there, won't you?"
I feel as your heart.
And she smiles. And she turns to Dolus and she says, "Well, they will need my help on the stair, I assume."
Mm-hmm.
Right, yes, of course. Well, I will hope to see you again then. She gives him a curt little nod. You held the chart very well. More useful than some.
Thank you. We'll be back as soon as we possibly can.
Of course.
It's time to go.
She was absolutely useless. She couldn't even read the chart.
Radiant.
It's her fault.
No, it's not.
You nearly died.
She didn't turn the water
She couldn't even read that thing.
She built that chart herself.
We could have done that ourselves.
No, we couldn't have.
You may as well have done it. It's pointless.
The waters have changed.
She risked herself for us. There was no reason for... We didn't even offer her anything to come
She
out
didn't
here.
risk anything. She just stood on that boat and did nothing while you got sucked into the water and you almost died.
But she didn't die. Did she? And we're where we need to be. Which is going up some mysterious staircase to the gods know what. We're one step closer than we were when we set sail this morning, and we couldn't have set sail without her. You knew it was going to be risky. We just didn't know how bad it was going to be.
So that's not what every time on a boat is like.
It's not.
No. Sometimes it's not.
One day me and you will sail through the mist together. It'll be a proper adventure.
I likes the sounds of this.
I just think once these waters turn back to the way they were, we deserve a nice time in Fathom.
We deserve a nice time anywhere, quite frankly.
We should not tarry here too long,
Okay.
says
go.
Dolas.
Let's go.
And he leads you to a space in the rock. He's sort of reaching over them with his hands. Black rock at the base of the sanctum. Rocks that seem to, for the first few stories, almost wrap around the sanctum and then give way to the pure white marble of the tower itself, stretching up into the grey sky. And you can hear him whispering, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And he reaches, and you sort of hear his claws on a seemingly smooth bit of stone find a ledge, like a little lip. And in Draconic, I hear him whisper, make those that suffer your obligation, make those that weep your charges, make those that strive for greatness your duty, uphold them with nobility and might, be the light. And light spreads around this previously invisible sort of seam in the rock, creating an opening that yawns into a dark space. The whole rock face in this area, 6 foot high and 4 foot across, seems to hinge.
Nice words. I did not understand what they all means together, but they sounds nice.
Well, it is the oath of the Legion. It's what it strove to be.
And what does it mean to you now?
Betrayal. And the loss of hope.
Takes that with you?
Yes. Who is going to go first? Would you like to... Oh, Radiant's going to go first.
Marching ahead.
Okay.
Just as he launches himself into the darkness, I turn to Dolly and I just say,
How are you? I'm bleeding in many places.
Oh, do you want some of this cream? It worked real well for me before.
Oh, maybe. No. I feel like a boy again.
Kel, all your HP comes back, all your spell slots, you didn't use any wild shapes, but you get everything back. You have 4 more uses of...
It was 5 in total.
5 in total, so you've got 3
yeah.
more.
One for each of us, really.
I literally curse and chase straight away behind Radiant.
So Dolas begins to lead you. And he leads you through this door in the rock. And carved into the rock itself is a crude staircase. It is clearly years since any have been here. There's no light. There are no torches. As Radian leads, roll me an acrobatics or athletics check, whichever you like.
It's a 22.
22. With consummate ease, Radian begins to climb up these stairs. Some of the steps are worn smooth, some jagged. Actually, the jagged ones are almost easier to grip because of they have more handholds in them. There are times at which, over the first kind of few steps of the climbing, they feel like real firm handholds. So it's Radian, Elowin.
I'll go in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Dolas goes after you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next.
And then Kelnis at the rear. As you all start to climb these stairs, around, Radiant's maybe got 15, 16 stairs up. Those of you at the back, Kelnis, you've got 5 or 6 stairs up. The door rumbles and shuts itself. And as it slams shut, there is a rumbling above directly above you, too high up to see, even with dark vision, to make out exactly how far up this is. And then, Radian, you hear it. You hear it like a wind. You look up and there is a rock falling towards the stairs. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
8.
8. You take 10 bludgeoning damage as this rock slams into you and rolls down towards Elowin. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
8.
8. 5 damage to you. Some of the sting kind of taken out of it by Radian, but Elowin also takes a little of it. Dolly is next.
Natural 20.
Dolly, with a nat 20, enough has been kind of, with your new constitution score, enough momentum has been taken from it that as it comes towards you, you almost lean your shoulder into it and you divert it off the
My
stairs.
tail just flaps it.
Your tail flaps it.
That's a great word.
And you hear, like below you, Kel, your head turns as this rock kind of slams down past you and explodes in a shower of shale on the floor. A few rungs of this kind of, or rungs of the ladder, steps in the staircase below you.
Anyone else starting to miss the water?
I was too small to see any of this, and kind of goes, "What's happened?"
Stop throwing rocks.
Little fella. Right. You climb that. You climb that first set of the steps. Mm-hmm. And then, Radian, as you are going ahead, the pathway narrows, the ceiling coming in closer to you, the ground rising up. There is a narrow tunnel through which you can crouch and sort of move through, or you can crawl on all fours, or you can kind of roll your way through it commando style, like slithering through it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a far off light.
Yeah.
You head towards it.
Yeah.
Within the walls and ceiling of this narrow stone tunnel is a strange golden glow. Roll me a perception check.
14.
14. With a 14, it's almost the colour of Kelnis's scales, but it's not coming from Kel. It is a moss that coats this tunnel. It looks lacy. It pulses, pulsing slowly, almost as if it's breathing. These stems writhe on the ground through which you're going to move.
Dolas, any idea what this is?
I'm going to have him roll a nature check. He rolled really high. It lives somehow.
What do you mean it lives?
I don't know, but look at it. It's like it undulates or...
Listen, is it going to hurt us?
I would be cautious of it. I can, if you would like me to go first.
Yeah, go on.
And he nervously picks his way through towards this moss. And as he does so, he reaches out his hand and touches it, and this tendrils wrap around his arm, and he tries to pull it away, and he can't pull it away. He says, I don't know what to do. Do I move?
Stay where you are.
He's got his hand reaching out into it.
Can we all see this?
Yeah, I would say that you can just about kind of poke your way through. There's just about enough room that he's managed to kind of edge round Radiant and go first.
Big Scale. What does you know of this?
I know nothing of this.
They're plants. Can't you just burn them? Plants hate fire, right?
Cal makes his way to the front of the line, so he's standing with Dolus.
Dolus looks at you. He has his hand.
I reach out and I touch the tendrils on his hand, on his arm.
And they go to you. Both of your hands now bound, one on top of the other into this moss.
Well, clearly, my golden scales have nothing to do with this.
I would like to walk up and reach up and point my finger just sort of like where the tendrils are kind of starting to move away from, not sort of directly over the skin or scales, rather, of my friends. I'd like to just cast a small firebolt.
Make a ranged spell attack.
That is a 10. Oh, wait, hold on. Firebolt. Oh, sorry, no, because it's a firebolt. It's a 7.
It's a 7. You fire it. You send out this little firebolt, and it's almost as if the moss, while repelled by it, sort of moves and shifts, moves away, creates a space of just plain rock where your firebolt hits and then rushes back to fill that space.
In that case, then,
It does not like fire.
I would like to pull out my torch and tinderbox and light the torch and hold it towards, just in the direction of where it's holding
and it sort of starts to skitter back. The tendrils unwrapping from Dolus's and Calnus's hands.
I think she was right, Big Scale. Does anyone else has these?
You would all have torches in your pack. Even Dolus reaches into his pack and lights a torch.
I extend around to...
And you're kind of crawling through underneath the rock. Crawling at first down and then up this moss, this strange retreating from you. And Calnus, do you return to the rear or?
Well, I guess if we're both at the front now, aren't we?
Yeah, so who's going to go at the back?
I'll sort of go... No, I'll carry on at the front, sorry.
You carry on?
I'll slip to the back.
Okay, so Elwyn and Dolly step to the back, and you're kind of trying to crawl forward. Every now and then you chance a look over your shoulder, and you see that this moss is almost like it's kind of creeping towards you, and every time you bring the... retreats back, creeping towards you, retreats back. And you climb this way for about half an hour, crawling through the black, your knees, your elbows skinned and grazed. It's getting cold, and then it's unbearably hot because of the fire and your breath and all these bodies in a small space, and you start to sweat. And every time you reach round and go back with the fire, the moss seems a little nearer and a little nearer, and then you feel fresher air. You feel it on your face, you see the flickering of the torchlight, and then you're hit by a pungent, sulphurous smell.
I knows this smell, and I thinks we might need to be careful with the fire.
Well, we need it.
I want to extinguish mine and make my way through into where the smell...
And you emerge out of this little cave, pull yourself up onto a wide, flat rock. And again, just as before, the ceiling suddenly curves around and is lost stalagmites and whichever one comes down. Somewhere kind of off in the distance, you can just make out the edge of them, the shape of them, almost like a shadow. And you're on this wide rock. And then there is a chasm in front of you. 40 feet on the other side, there is another area of rock, which leads more stairs carved into it, going up. And when you look over the edge, you can't see, but you can smell sulphurous, dank, rotten. Roll me perception, actually.
8.
You can hear something like a churn. You're not sure if it's living or water or wind.
I thinks we does not need the torches. But I thinks we does not need loud voices.
Is the moss still around at this point?
The moss, if you're in the tunnel, is still around you.
Okay. But once we're out,
Once you're out, it sort of retreats. It sort of gathers at the...
Okay.
What you see is it actually gathers at the mouth of the tunnel, wraps itself around the circumference, and then and sort of fills in the radius of it. So it's this whole writhing mass of tendrils and golden glow, almost like a moss mouth, like fur, like something living.
I'm going to put out the torch.
Dolas, what is this place?
This is the Forgotten Stair. This is it.
I'm sorry, so what we just went through wasn't the Forgotten Stair?
It brings us up to the 6th floor. Many, many levels above the sea, above the lake.
Do you know anything about this place?
I know it has not been used, as far as I'm aware, for centuries. Hence it has fallen into this. When you roll me an investigation check.
I was going to ask if I could do that as well.
Well, then roll it with a re-roll as well, Kel, and we'll take whichever one of you gets the highest.
Investigation. 12.
I have a 13.
13. So what you both see with the 13 is you see 2 small rotten wooden stakes that have been pushed into the rock on the edge of the chasm. They look to have splintered and decayed in the salt.
I'm going to go over to those stakes and I'm going to look at them further.
I'm going to say you don't even need to roll for this.
Yeah.
You look over to the other side and you see another pair.
Used to be a bridge.
Yeah. How do we get across now?
How far did you say it was?
40 feet.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Funny that.
Thought you would.
It's all just rock on the other side, isn't it?
It seems to be from where you are.
Okay.
Sorry, 31 feet.
Really?
30 feet and an inch.
I have an idea.
Oh, God.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get across this chasm.
Yeah.
And there isn't a bridge.
No.
And I certainly can't whip myself across. You're a dragon. I'm just saying. Do something cool.
I think of charcuterie.
If you'd given me 1,000 years, I wouldn't have predicted that.
I don't know. I know it feels to be it's there.
That's a little Easter egg for those who know.
You think of charcuterie, of an artisanal meat board, of good
Cal.
cheese and chutneys.
Cal pulls out of his bag 50 feet of rope. Hands it to Elowen. Anyone else have any rope?
You would all have to.
50 feet of hemp and rope comes with every adventure.
So you
Buy
tie-
one, get one free.
Yeah.
10-foot pole, anybody?
I just stop.
I did not get my rope back from the ship. I will get it later.
And Cal hands the 2 ends of the ropes to Eloin.
You got better tie it on to something. Don't know what he has planned.
No, he's not planning what I thought he might be planning.
I have not done this in a long time. And 2 flaming wings sprout from Cal's back. And he rises into the air. And he flies across the chasm to the other side. Lands. And he has the other ends of the rope. Now what? Are the stakes properly rotten?
This was cool as hell.
Did anyone else know he could do that? What? Since when? What?
Did anyone else hear that music?
Crucially, no. I will say, roll me an investigation check, see if you can find a way.
Natural 20.
Well, with a nat 20, you find a way. You find a way of securing this rope in a manner to the base of these seemingly rotten sticks, the last bits that have stayed, despite their years of kind of degradation and salt and dank air. You secure a rope.
Okay.
We need to secure a rope on the other side.
Can you throws it?
Well,
I'm holding it.
Yeah.
I've got one end.
All right, so can we let's investigate on this side.
Yeah,
maybe, and-
let's find somewhere to tie it.
I didn't find anything.
So we've just tied one, yeah?
Yeah, you've essentially,
So-
tell me what you wanted to do on your side, because
Okay.
essentially, with a nat 20, you did it. So just tell me what you did, and that's what happened.
Okay,
well, this is emerging.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to secure one rope. Mm-hmm. I just want to hold on to the end. I shout across to the other side.
keep the secure one, the rope that. This one is secure. Secure this one to the other side. Hold on to the other rope.
No, it's just
Radiant peering through the dark.
because it's just 40 feet. So I'm like,
What?
So, I mean, Dolus has quite high intelligence. Dolus can also roll if you want him to.
I've still got my wings out. They
Yeah.
can stay out for 10 minutes.
Yep, yep,
So I'm keeping them out.
yep.
And
Well, you could do it more than one second, couldn't we? Because, I mean, one single rope is going to be quite treacherous.
well, what I was thinking, I shout this across the chasm.
Yes, of course.
What I was thinking is that we use one end of the rope to secure so that people can hand over hand across the chasm, and the other end of the rope is tied to the person who's hand over handing, so that whoever's on the other side can have an end of the rope as a safety
Yeah.
in case somebody slips.
There are two lengths of rope.
Yes.
Yes.
So there are two lengths. So one 50-foot length of rope, which is tied off on both ends.
Yeah.
Another 50-foot length of rope, which is tied round the person with Kel and whoever
Got
else
it.
is there, acting almost as a belayer.
I'm gonna.
well, I haven't rolled my investigation.
Roll your investigation.
Never mind.
Mine was an 11.
An 11. I'm going to have Dolus help. Dolus got a 17. I think I understand. Kelness. And he manages to find a way to sort of wedge it. And you have a rope secured, taut across across this chasm with these two posts supporting it.
Okay.
I haven't told anyone this, but I'm scared of heights.
Okay, do you want to go first or last?
I don't really want to go at all.
Well, you're going to have to.
Well, I'm going to go.
You can get a little ways out and then do your little Bamfy thing the rest of the way.
I'm going to move the
Don't think of this as a height. Think of that as a low.
I mean, it's not the worst advice he's given.
I thought you were going to say think of it as a length. And I was like, that's really good advice.
I'm
Going first?
yeah.
Okay. Roll me acrobatics or athletics.
So whilst
I
she's
mean,
doing this,
I can roll
I'm bracing myself on the other side.
Yes.
I'm using my wings
Yep.
to help create
Yep.
more
Yep.
potential.
So what I'll say, if anything goes wrong, they will have advantage on the save.
Yeah.
27.
27. I mean, she needs no help. You feel slackness on the rope the entire time, Cal, as Elwyn just shimmies like a monkey across the gap.
Okay, that looked easy, right? That was easy.
Me and my brothers used to do this all the time. It's fine.
Who's going next?
I's gonna go last.
Okay. Ready in?
Yeah, I'll have a go.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Help me hold this.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, you can do it with a... Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, you're good.
17.
17. Absolutely.
Oh god, don't fall. It's a low.
Come on, Radiant, you can do it. Radiant, keep going.
It's a low.
Oh, that was good. It was easy. Yeah, it was great.
I put one hand up and like, pull you up.
He's the sweatiest he's ever been.
And give him, good old
Clammy
pat
as
on the
all hell.
Well done.
Who's going next? Dolus or Dolly? Dolly.
Oh, well, Dolas can go first if he wants to.
I mean, he doesn't have skin in the game in the same way.
Natural 20.
Whoa!
That's my girl.
Amazing.
She doesn't even need, she's just
She
doing
walks,
a
she
little-
tightropes it.
little
She doesn't even
curve.
go
Yeah,
underneath.
it's
What are you doing?
just having a bit of fun.
You might fall.
No, I'm fine.
We've got the safety
Hey,
rope.
look. She's just on the rope.
Dolus goes. Dolus looks really nervous. And Dolus gets halfway across. He rolls a 9. He starts to drop. He slips. And let's go. Actually, there are 4 of you now. Holy hell. Roll me a dexterity save with advantage. And I will say you can +2 to it for the extra 2 people who are not rolling but are here.
Wait, who's rolling?
It looks like Elwyn is.
19.
19. You manage to secure Dolus before he slams into the rock. He's quite light, really, for a dragonborn. He's not a beefy boy. And you hang on to him and manage to sort of pull him up. Thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to be a burden.
Not a burden at all. I saved you. Let's hope you repay the favour.
I hope I don't have to.
Well, with the way things are going, God knows what's in here.
Big scale. I has always...
Normal land.
Big scale. I has always dreamed of flying. I is just a little scale. Does you think you could carry me?
Oh, I could certainly try.
This will be a high DC. This is a high DC.
Please say that's with more confidence.
Okay, so I hand the rope over to Elwyn. And
Do you tie it around you?
yes.
Okay.
And I fly back across the chasm.
Do
You wanted
really want
this.
to try this, little scale?
Can I? Is that the take the rope that's there and tie it around me?
So you are now tied to the rope on the far side. Kel is now tied to the rope that everyone else is holding. Okay?
Sure, hun.
Sure, hun.
He wanted to do something interesting for the stream.
What the hell? Sure.
Across the stream.
What's the worst that can happen?
Roll me a
Because you've been rolling well.
strength saving throw, Kelness. This is a DC 16 strength saving throw.
20.
For the briefest moment there, it was like
It was teetering.
teetering on a what like
Yeah, it's like a
it was
7.
so close to a what like
Amazing. But you make it across. All 5 of you.
He's flying.
All 6 of you.
I'm flying.
It's I's flying.
We get to the other side, and in the darkness you just hear,
It is all I ever wanted.
You start to climb up this new section. By now you're past masters in it, really. You climb up above that smell fading, up an almost vertical area, but for some reason this seems to have been maybe protected from the elements a little bit more by its elevation above the water, and so the handholds here are truer than they were even when you first started. And you emerge onto a little ledge. And hammered into the rock face, like sort of over the rock face, is a very long wooden ladder at an angle, spanning a gap, leading up to a ledge that... Roll perception, everybody. I'll roll for Dolas as well. You're rolling incredibly badly. Roll like a 6. 15.
8.
22.
22.
12.
12.
7.
So Dolly and Kel, it looks to be marble, this ledge that you're heading up towards. The same marble as the rest of the tower.
How long is it? Sorry?
I think we're getting closer.
It does look that way, doesn't it?
How long has it taken us to reach this point?
You have been climbing now for an hour.
I bet you're insufferable.
It's slow. I mean, it's slow going. If you want to make an intelligence check, you can. If you want to make a wisdom check, you can try and discern whether or not you think you're essentially nearly there. I think you'd have a sense of the elevation that you've taken. It's wisdom, because wisdom deals with perception and that sort of stuff. So I think wisdom is more appropriate. Also, it's your highest stat. You can roll intelligence if you like.
What? No. It's a 13.
A 13. If that isn't the level that you're heading to, it's only one below. Like, you are close.
I heard a really good thing, which is intelligence is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Very
Is that not me that
good.
said that last week?
I love that. Yes.
No.
I feel like I
Did you say that last week?
No.
Okay. I feel like
Well,
I
I
did,
don't
for
know
sure.
how many times you've
Unknown
listened back to the
source.
audio.
Did you say that last week?
Maybe. Well,
Out there.
oh, I thought you meant on the session.
Yeah.
Oh, you may well have done.
But no one listens, so it's fine.
Well, he did listen.
He listened.
He
He
didn't credit
just-
you.
No, I heard it. I heard a footballer say that.
Oh, I doubt that.
Yeah. No, I think I saw the same thing. It was on YouTube
Yeah, it was really good.
or someplace like that.
It was on Facebook Marketplace.
This is.
It was on
bullying,
Periscope.
by the way. You're being bullied.
No, I know.
So, yeah, this ladder set into the rock, bridging a gap. Not like a
does
gap as in a chasm that you've been above, but just there's a 60-foot. It's 60 feet above where the base of this ladder is, so you climb a 60-foot ladder to get up there.
Does it look safe? Does it...
Roll me an investigation check.
I'm going to start climbing.
Okay. Roll
That was a
me.
5.
Yeah. It's the best
thing I
ladder
didn't
you've
hit.
ever seen. Roll me a luck check, please.
That's cocked, right? That's cocked.
Yeah, it was cocked.
was
That's
cocked.
definitely cocked.
That was cocked. I saw it. It was
We
cocked.
saw it, definitely. We all definitely saw it.
19.
19. Yeah, these handholds are pretty good so far.
Yeah. Radiant follows immediately because it looks incredibly safe.
I'm going to have... it's going to be 3 checks to get to the top. Dolly, if you're lucky on all of them, then the ladder is good.
15. Going well so far, guys. 5.
5. On the last, as you kind of reach the top 20 feet, so you're at this point 40 feet above, the rest of you all climbing this ladder along with her, I assume, or would people like to stay
I've been
on?
waiting to see what happens.
Calnus is staying at the bottom.
I've got my, sort of one foot in it. Like,
Oh,
Dad-
now you're all not on the ladder. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
You
going
just
up.
raced up it, by the way.
I'm going
Didn't
up.
even think once again. No, you know that thing that dads do where they put their foot on the base of a ladder because they think it's going to happen? It doesn't really
It's
do anything.
helping.
It's an A-frame ladder. It's not obviously not moving.
So Dolly's on, I is on, Radiant is on. I'm going to say Dolus is on. Elwyn's kind of...
Well, I went first last time.
Okay, so Elwyn's kind of bringing up the rear with Calnus. Neither of you are actually properly on the ladder yet. You put your hand up to feel a rung, and you feel something organic, something that crushes and crunches underneath your hand as you grip onto the rung. And you are aware that what you thought was a rung there is a swarm of black fist-sized spiders. Everybody roll initiative.
That's the time I decide to roll a nat 20.
Me too.
Really?
Okay, so nat 20, and you've got a higher dex modifier.
I rolled
so
21.
Holy hell. So we will go I, then we will go Kelnis, then we will go Elowen, then
I have a 14.
a 14,
17.
a 17. Wow. Wow.
These spiders
The
are
curse is
bigger.
broken.
No, stop it.
That, and then your boy Dolus rolled a nat 1. That is I's turn. You see this kind of writhing mass. You are, I'm going to say, if you're on the ladder, you are one-handed. Just so you know. That is your turn as you see this kind of mass of spiders.
Dolly! Dodge!
And I'm going to do a firebolt into the mass of spiders that I can...
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Is this a bad time to say I'm scared of spiders?
It's a horrible time to be scared of spiders.
I didn't think it would come up.
That is a 14.
That does not hit this swarm.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Wow. And I mean, let's be real here. I have basically nothing bonus action-wise that is useful in this sort of scenario. So I'm just going to say, we goes again.
Yep. That is Kelnis's turn. You're 40 feet away. And you can't really essentially get up there to be in melee because you have to push everyone else off the ladder.
And these are all around her hand.
All around her hand, it's like that.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. And that's a second level, so it's three flaming rays that I can target into the mass.
Yep.
At slightly different places, avoiding
Yep, absolutely.
avoiding Dolly.
So you make separate spell attacks for each ray, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So
Ray Chase.
Ray Chase.
Rock chase.
Ray Chase, Ray Liotta, and Ray Romano.
So the first one is an 18.
Yep, so let's roll all the attacks first and then deal with the damage later because it's all hitting the same creature. That
26.
hits. That with a 26, that also does hit. Yes.
Woo!
And 24.
Okay, they all hit.
So that's 2d6 fire damage for each one.
So that's
Little sparks
3D.
not
Yeah,
looking
I
so
did
great
that.
now, is it,
I
Annie?
fire one
66 fire damage.
that misses and immediately see 3 just from behind me.
Do you want some d6 too?
I got some cash.
I've got 3 as well.
66. Wait, are we rolling for each ray or?
No. This is all the rays all together because they're all hitting the same thing.
It's Ray Chase, Ray Romano.
Ray Chase, Ray Romano, Ray
The Holy
Liotta.
Trinity.
9, 10, 14, 20, 21.
21 damage. Okay.
Ray Charles didn't make it in.
No, I know.
Too easy.
Well, too close to Ray Chase.
Yeah.
Too close to Ray Chase.
Emotionally.
Yeah. Elowen, that's your turn.
Just gonna loose a couple of arrows up in that direction, I think.
It has resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, but there's precious little else.
Gotta say, we are lucky.
Yeah, I literally can't do anything else.
We're lucky that you're not actually on it right now because the two-handed trying to.
Yeah.
If you were on it, would be.
The first one hits a 16.
It does hit.
Oh, does it?
16 hits, yeah.
I mean, I can roll for damage, but it doesn't do anything.
Has resistance, not immunity. It will take half damage.
Oh,
so
fine.
if you're going to roll 2 attacks, you may as well roll
I may as well
both,
just roll
and then
them,
because
yeah.
it's all going at the same thing.
That one definitely thinks that's only a 10.
Misses.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1d8 plus your dex modifier, halved.
I mean, it's a 4 and then halving it. So
2.
yeah.
That is Dolly de Winter's turn. Can you make me a DC 14 Constitution saving throw?
Without a modifier, that's an 18.
Okay, passes.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Do your worst.
What can I do?
Say some mean things to the spiders.
Yeah, I think I will actually. Take your 8 stupid legs and get out of here. And I am going to cast Distant Whisper. It's a wisdom save.
Okay. They roll that flat. That is a 14 on the die.
It's a fail, because it was a 15. So.
Oh.
So that's 5d6 psychic damage. Casting at 3rd level.
Okay.
Because I really don't like spiders. And if available, it has to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Oh, cool.
Failed save.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool, I think. 16, 18, 21.
21. Okay, and this swarm skitter up along the rest of
That's
the
right,
ladder.
you run away!
And you can see with the rest of the ladder that that was the missing rung. The rest of the ladder looks as good as the rest of it has, but they're now massing up on that marble ledge, sort of climbing over each other in an attempt to sort of get away from this spell that you've just cast. That is Radian's turn.
So all of this going on, looking down, scared of heights. This is all this kind of like combination of things. He looks up to the marble ledge and he wants to be anywhere but here. And yes, he wants to be anywhere but there.
Okay.
And so he looks up towards the marble ledge.
And you are suddenly behind the swarm, looking back at it, looking down the ladder towards your friends. As that
Everyone's doing cool stuff.
As that happens, you see you have a flash of something. And you see yourself as if outside your own body. You're lying on the shores of Lake Kova. You're barely breathing, you're soaked. And Rodvi, Essie, and Rakma are next to you. And Rodvi turns to the others and says, "He will take Rallian's place." And the others look at him, and he continues, "The web knows nothing of our home, nor how many sons we have. I will not lose another. He is your brother now, Rakma. Wake him." And then he and Essie leave. And as you watch, Rakma stands over you and raises his hand, and then you're back.
And kind of like looks down, assesses where the situation is, and suddenly sees loads of spiders coming up towards him. And so he wanted to be there, and now all these kind of like swarm of spiders are coming towards him.
Yep.
And I believe I'm still able to cast the spell.
Yes.
Great. So he's going to, screw it. It's the last time. He's going to let loose his last fireball of the day.
You can just about, I'm going to say, because Dolly is 20 feet below the level of the ledge. I've said the ledge is wide, so I will say you can just about cast this without putting either her or yourself in it.
I'm happy to do an Arcana just because he's disorientated. I know,
Sure.
I know I'm like
Sure,
putting myself in
yeah,
a situation,
sure.
but I feel like he wouldn't know where
Yeah,
he is.
great.
I'm like,
Roll me a DC 12 Arcana.
he rolls a 12.
Okay, so you pass.
Actually, no, he doesn't. He rolls a fucking 18 because he's an absolute lad. Yeah. They, he casts his fireball. This thing.
Dexterity
Yeah.
saving throw. That is a 9, becomes a 13.
That loses against mine. And I do 23 damage.
This swarm, it's like it's one mass, and it almost looks for a moment like black water as your fire rakes across it. The spiders turning over and burning, others taking their place. This mass writhing kind of bubble of spiders that are all around you and all around as they're engulfed in flames. That is the swarm's turn, and you are closest to it, Radiant. And it is going to move into your space, and these spiders start to climb you. They are around you. They are in your hair, in your ears.
Do them in Hoffy.
That is they try to start biting at you. That is an 11 to hit.
13.
That is its turn. We go to Dolas. Dolas.
Run screaming into the night.
Dolas reaches out a hand, and he has a dagger, and he is going to try and just throw his dagger into the middle of the swarm. There's little else he can do.
We are limited.
That is a 16 to hit, so it does actually hit. It's going to do almost no damage.
Spider.
It does 2 piercing damage. You see, like, one of the spiders, as it's leaping towards you, is kind of severed, cut in half by this dagger that buries itself, kind of wedges itself into the rock next to you. That is back to the top of the order. That is I.
I sees these like streaking rays go past, and then a fireball come down from above, looks down at his own finger and just sort of like gives it a little wiggle and tries to closes one eye and looks and sees if it's a bit skewing, and then looks back up and just takes another shot with
take a shot with fireball. What level? What does fireball?
Cantrip.
Yeah, but I wonder if it actually does more damage because you are at a certain level. I don't know how it works with arcane tricksters, but I think it should do.
It's just got for me. It's a 2d10. I think.
Yeah,
it was
2d10. There we go. It used to be 1d10 because it
was
increases at 4th level, I think.
That is a 19.
Hits.
Whoa. Excellent. And then so that's 2d10. Where's my 10s? Merci beaucoup. There we go. That is 15.
Whoa, wee!
It's super hurt. You are watching more and more of these spiders. More and more of these spiders are like writhing around you. And do you take any of that damage? Because it is in your space. What's the language of fireball? A creature.
I mean, it just says you hurl a mote of fire at a creature or object within range.
Okay, that's the swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a d4, Radiant. I'm going to say you take some of this.
4.
You take 4 points of fire damage.
Sorry!
Kelnis, that is
Not
your
very
turn.
nice, is it?
You can't really hear me because there are spiders in my mouth.
Open wide!
Hope your eyebrows are okay.
I doubt.
So there's no way for me to really do another scorching ray and... Huh?
Have you still got your wings up?
No, they're gone. They only last for 10 minutes.
So you want to do... There's
no way for me to...
He will take 1d6 of fire damage that you'll roll separately for each ray.
I can take it.
No, you can't.
The 4th Ray Liotta Rage.
Yeah, it is Charles. It is Charles. Oh yeah, Ray Dion. Ray Dion.
Divorced from Celine, but kept the surname.
Why wouldn't you? It's an absolute cash cow. Brand recognition is so strong.
I think that's going to be
I move again.
the only thing I can do.
Okay.
Scorching ray. So
How many do you want to create?
I think I have to create 3, don't I?
Yes, you can. You can target them at different things.
I want to target them
At the swarm.
at the swarm.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Make 3 attacks.
Radiant, who's just seen one fire thing come his way, just looks down and sees another.
That's
Make-
dirty 20,
Yep, hits.
14,
Misses.
and 22.
So roll 4d6.
46.
In fact, we'll do some d4s for Radiant, I think.
6, 11.
11. Roll me 2d4, Radiant.
3.
3. You take 3 points of fire damage. This thing is so nearly, so close.
So the moon.
Eloin.
I mean, just gonna keep throwing arrows at it because
I know,
nothing
she
else
farts.
I can do.
She farts in the direction.
That.
Roll them twice. Roll both.
Does she light a fart?
Oh, yeah, that one is a 14,
Misses just.
and that is a natural 20.
Okay, so cool. So roll 2d8 plus your modifier, and then halve it.
Where is my? There it is. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and half 11.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Still up. Dolly,
Okay. How far is the top of the ladder?
20 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go the rest of the distance. I'm like, oh my god, I touched it! Get up to the top, and I'm just gonna cast Shatter.
Okay.
Just a
Con save.
thousand little lights.
Open wide radiant. I'm going to
Con save. It's a 17.
Okay, so
Take
that,
half damage.
Yeah, half damage.
It has 2 HP. Dolly, tell me about it.
I actually get to kill someone!
Yay! Dolly got a kill.
Yay!
She's so
yeah.
beefy.
I'm just gonna get to the top of this ladder. I'm not very cool because I'm all flustered and I touched it and it's so gross. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, and then just like cast Shatter at it, and it's just, they all just go, and that's it.
They sort of, some explode,
Yeah.
some just like all the legs turn in, and they all, and there's this like, there's this sort of scattering, almost
Shower
like
of spider
as-
bits.
Radiant spits one out.
as they
like,
fall
just-
to the marble. And you are out of combat. The rest of you scramble up the ladder.
How did you get here?
Yeah, what? You were
What
behind
was
me.
that? You were standing.
You don't need to worry about it.
You were on the ladder and then you weren't.
It looks like she wants to throw up.
I do want to throw up. I just had spiders in my mouth.
Do you want some of this cream?
Yeah, I'll take some of the cream.
They is very high in protein.
I'll take some of the cream, shove it on my head.
You gain a long rest.
Our tribe loves the taste of spiders,
Really? You eat those things?
but they will keeps you going for a while.
Dolus says, we should be quick.
Sorry, they keeps you going for a while.
And he points a kind of trembling hand at this ledge. He says, I think. And again he reaches, his fingers exploring it. He finds a crack, a lip in this marble. He whispers those same words, the oath of the Fortis Legion. And the door opens. Everybody roll me perception checks.
8.
8.
6.
6.
23.
23.
21.
21.
22.
22. 21. 22. 23. You are in a marble chamber. Large marble chamber. In the center of which is a table. A table of, to allow me to consult my picture, an 8-sided table. And you realize that you have emerged from a false door in the base of a set of marble stairs wrapping up. And you are in the open. And 6 draconic heads turn to you. Silver and gold. Soldiers of the Fortis Legion. Kelnis. Dolus speaks. You still do not remember me, Kelnis. It's hard to believe. Though it has been so long, I have thought of you every day. I've not forgotten, I remember everything. And the silver scales of Dolus in the center of you begin to glow. And they turn to red, and then white like metal heated in a crucible, and the brightness is so blinding that it is all you can do not to shield your eyes against this ever-growing white heat, and Dolus is consumed by it. His scales, his clothes, his form, it's like witnessing the birth of a star. And then the light begins to fade, and a new figure becomes visible. An elf. Head covered by a red cloak, strawberry blonde hair falling to his shoulders, frames a soft-featured face marred by a great burn across one cheek. His eye, half his forehead. And his eyes, Yilda's eyes, are fixed on you, Cal. I have waited years. Everything I have done, every nightmare, every life taken, every stitch, it was for you. It was to have you here now, like this. After all these years, I have my reward and you have yours, betrayed by those who sheltered you, that you led to Lathi, that you allowed to put a noble tribe to the sword, slaughtered like pigs among the walking trees. And then he looks to the dragonborn in the chamber. Leave your own till last. Let him watch, just like I did. I speak for the prince. Then he looks at the 5 of you and says, the web is wide. Spits on the ground. And with a wave of his staff, he disappears. And that's where we'll end our session. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. That's episode 21 of our adventures in the world of Reliquiae. We are now going to record a Christmas special. But before we do that, we are going to discuss our thoughts on this and all the things that have gone before on our post-show Action Surge. If you are not a member of our Patreon, you're going to have to wait till next week. If you are a member of our Patreon, that Action Surge is available now. And if it tickles your fancy, if you're not a member of our Patreon and you've never been a member of our Wild or Vile tier, which is $10 or $20 if you're feeling extra generous a month, during the month of January, you can get 20% off for your first month if you visit our Patreon, as long as you have never been a member of those tiers before. So we would invite you, if you would like to support what we're doing and help us keep the lights on at Natural Six Towers, to go over, check it out. You'll get extra content, you'll get extra stories, you'll get behind the scenes, you'll get ad-free episodes of everything. And we hope you enjoy it. And until then, we will see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye, everybody!